Hey everyone, can y'all hear me okay? Ken, how are you? Hey Musical. Hey Sifa, how are you? Hey Miss Honeypenny. Just Ann, how are you? Hey Michelle. Hey Scott. White Widow baby, how are you? Hey Philly Sports and thank you. Oh Sifa, I missed all of you too. Literally 3 nights. Hey Lights, how are you? Yeah, Ken, I'm doing better. Thank you, Musical. Happy to be back. Hey Jessica, how are you? Hey Marissa. Yeah, I'm doing a bit better, White Widow baby. I feel a lot better. I'll put it that way. Lena, thank you very much. Hey, Mara, how are you? I love you too, honey. Big Al, you're still not feeling better? I hate to hear that. I hope you get to feeling better soon. I didn't even know that you were sick. Hey, Collins Avenue, how are you? Hey, 9 millimeter. Oh, wow, day 4. Well, Big Al, I'll be praying for you. I hope you get to feeling better. Rosie, yeah, I'm doing a little bit better. But y'all keep Big Al in your prayers too. He's been sick. Sifa Cece she's more than likely gonna be in and out. Um, where she's at right now, she doesn't have very good service, so she may pop in and out as her service goes in and out. Hey, K-Mash, how are you? Hey, Emerald Queen. A Concrete Angel, how are you? Creme Crazy, how are you? Jessica, yeah, they are. This whole case is crazy. Literally, when I I didn't even start the live Tuesday night. When I ended the chat, I lay down. I didn't even open up YouTube until today. And just the stuff that I've read today has been crazy. All right, let me. Oh, shoot. Wait, I gotta pin my email to the top. If I listen to one more audiobook, I might climb the. Oh, Big Al, don't feel bad. I've drank enough Gatorade, y'all, in the last 4 days to hurt someone seriously. Headphones, how are you? Crime Crazy, how are you? Y'all keep Crime Crazy and her family in your prayers as well, please. Hey, Tammy. Oh, Big Al, I've drank so much Gatorade, and then Troll bought me this drink that was some type of vitamin drink. It had no sugar in it. It was disgusting. So I had to like choke it down. And then I ate a chocolate cake and I got in trouble for eating it. He told me I couldn't be having nothing like that no more. And I've only had one Coke in 4 days. Let's see. I'm hosting a celebration of life for one of my best friends tomorrow. 200 people. Oh God, Big L. Well, hopefully you'll be able to pull it off. Okay. Oh, wait, little baby, let me tell you what he did. He set my vape on my desk, and he put it a certain way to see if I was gonna get it when he wasn't around. A simple butterfly, how are you? Hey, Samatu, how are you? Jim J, how are you? Marissa, yes. I've got a huge headache. I've taken Tylenol twice today, and it hasn't worked. It's been nothing but Gatorade. I did drink a water, but it's been mostly Gatorade and that vitamin drink thing that he bought. It would have been better if it had sugar in it, but thing was horrible. Oh, well, Collins Avenue. I I I did vape today because I thought maybe what was wrong with my head was maybe, like, withdrawals from the nicotine. So I did vape a little bit today, but it didn't help. I think it's from the caffeine. Let's see. Did y'all see new court docs for bail hearing? It's for April. Simple Butterfly, the only thing that I've seen that's new was the 40 is it 49 pages that they came out with. It has, like, them unsealing the warrant, search warrant, and then they put out, the list of stuff that they seized out of his apartment, but that's all I've seen. I don't what is this? Please mail located. Well, close. Okay. Two. I haven't had one. Cherry 7 Up's okay. They just don't have caffeine in it. A seventh row, how are you? Let's see. Hey, my Jay-Z, how are you? Okay, I heard they may be in court in April to ask for a bond. I heard somebody was talking about a bond earlier that his attorney was wanting to get like a bond reduction or something like that, but I haven't seen the papers. Hey, Petey, how are you? Well, see, Big Al, you're on the same boat I am with the caffeine. Having no caffeine whenever you're used to having it every day, like, 'cause that's all I drink is caffeine. It's horrible when you don't have it. Mm, let me look on this website real quick and see. I see they haven't posted on the Idaho.gov website. They haven't posted any new court papers for any hearing in April. The last thing that they posted was the 18th, and it was the amended non-dissemination order. That was the last thing. They don't have anything well, which the search warrant papers would have been for Washington State, so hey, Blues, how are you? Werewolf Queen, how are you? Sent you an email from a personal email. Line. This video's another. Okay, Werewolf Queen, I'll have to check it here in a little bit. I've got to catch up on emails as well. Wait, I just seen. Let's see, let me catch up real quick. Okay. Hey, Lady V, how are you? Eliza, how are you? Hey, American Princess. Is it okay if I share a link to the silent auction where yes, Big Al, you sure can. Be present to bid, and there's some super cool stuff. So yeah, go ahead and post a link. And also, while I'm thinking about it, um, someone had made a purchase off the wish list. It was for the microphone set. It didn't have a name in the box who sent it or anything like that. So if it was you, thank you very much. I haven't had time to set it up. I'm gonna try to get that done tomorrow. Emerald Queen, see, member for 3 months. Has it really been that long? Emerald Queen, it's been a while, honey. Like, this time is just went by super quick, y'all. Did I send you the 97-page one? Uh, I don't Sif, I think you're talking about, like, the court docs? The longest one I got, I believe, is 49 pages long. Hey, Evie, how are you? I think it's all of where they ordered or motioned the court to unseal it, the search warrant, and it had the search warrant, and then it like, all the different things that they were looking for, like yeah, I got the 49-page one. Let's see. Alright, so Big Al says, y'all let me pull it up here on the thing real quick. Alright, so he says 100% of the money that we raised is going to my friend's 15-year-old son, and he posted a link. You do not have to be present. It's from 12 PM to 5 PM tomorrow, so check it out, some cool stuff. And Big Al, that's where you're doing your the celebration of life for your friend, right? Alright, so I've got it pulled up on the screen if anyone needs the link. Alright, and Sifa, where did you send it to me? Okay, the auction is for his son. Okay. Email. Alright, let me check it real quick. Let's see. So wait, this one's 90 something pages? Wait, this is the same one I have, but hey Ray, how are you? I am donating meals for 200 and the money raised from that will also go to his son as well as 50% of the bar proceeds. Oh, Big Al, that is cool. Hey Vapor, how are you? And thank you. I feel a little bit better. I just need caffeine. I think if I had caffeine, I would probably feel better. Okay. All right. So yeah, Sifa, this one that you sent to me, I have 49 of those pages, but I don't have the rest of them. What is, hold on, let me go down past 40. Oh shit. Wait, hold on. That went too far. Okay. I'll have to go back through all these. I'll have to go through the rest of them. Thank you for sending that to me. Allegedly, Annie, how are you? Hey, Tad, how are you? Hey, J Luck, how are you? Oh, Philly sports, I'm so sick of Gatorade. The only kind I drink is that cherry glacier kind, the white kind. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm so sick of Gatorade. 4 days of it. All right. Let me go ahead and get into this. Hey, Tree Baby, how are you? I missed all of you too. And thank you all for coming and hanging out with me tonight. All right. I want to go over an article that I was actually going to go over with y'all the other night when I got sick. And I wasn't able to, but it's talking about that a neighbor of Bryan's was talking about that he had DNA testing done before the murders ever happened. Hey, Moonvale, how are you? I don't think it's not too long of an article, but I do think there's a video. There's audio to it that I'm probably gonna play. That way I don't have to read this whole thing. But I thought it was interesting how his neighbor was talking about this. It was some kind of I forgot what it was called, but he had DNA testing done. Give me just 1 second. Hmm. All right. Okay. 5 DNA atoms per person in Idaho. Take your pick. Okay, I'm just trying to catch up real quick also in the chat. So this is from the Idaho Statesman. And like I said, it's just a title. Kohberger told neighbor prior DNA test raises questions about how the police found him. And it's basically word for word what the article says, the audio is. So I'm just gonna play the audio, and I will as it's playing, I will, like, kinda scroll down on it. That way, if anybody wants to keep up with it as well. Okay, I need to pause that, though. Alright.
Kohberger told neighbor of prior DNA test, raising questions about how police found him. Bryan Kohberger told a fellow Washington State University graduate student living in the same on-campus housing complex that he submitted his DNA for consumer genetic testing to explore his ancestry, the neighbor told the Idaho Statesman. Kohberger, 28, was a Ph.D. student in WSU's Criminal Justice and Criminology Department. He now stands charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and felony burglary in the killing of 4 University of Idaho students on November 13. Kohberger's neighbor said the two became acquainted while crossing paths on the residential property a handful of times after they each moved there in August. The WSU Ph.D. student lives across from the apartment where Kohberger resided until recently, and he said the two traded cell phone numbers. In their longest interaction, on the first Friday night of the fall semester, they spent about an hour chatting, the man said. The statesman agreed to grant him anonymity over privacy concerns to publish his account of his exchanges with Kohberger, including that conversation, months before Kohberger was arrested. That August evening, the two grad students ran into each other in the large housing complex's parking lot next to their buildings, the man said during an interview at his apartment. Just a quick word from our sponsor.
Leftovers or
Oh my god.
the DMV
Number 97.
or
Hold on, y'all.
house cleaning or Chumba Casino always brings the fun. Play over 100 different games online for free from anywhere. You could redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. Live the Chumba life. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Kohberger then asked him if he wanted to walk and talk, he said, and the two got to know each other a little while taking laps around the asphalt parking area. During their discussion, Kohberger asked his neighbor, who is not from the U.S., whether he could identify Kohberger's ancestral background, the man said. The neighbor said he guessed Italy before Kohberger stated that he was of German descent. He talked about his ancestors, the 30-year-old neighbor said. He had some sort of DNA test. I don't know how he got to that point, it was just interesting to him. The detail could shed new light on growing reports that investigators used public genealogy databases to land on Kohberger as the alleged killer. Citing law enforcement sources, multiple news outlets, including Fox News, CNN and ABC News, reported as early as the day after Kohberger's arrest that police employed the forensic technique to narrow their focus to Kohberger, while making no mention of the contentious method in the probable cause affidavit used to justify taking him into custody. A single source of male DNA was recovered from the button snap on a Kohberger brand leather knife sheath found on the bed next to the body of one of the 4 victims, police said. Police later matched the DNA from trash discarded at the Kohberger home in eastern Pennsylvania, where Bryan Kohberger was visiting his family for the winter break, to the profile taken from the knife sheath, according to the affidavit. However, investigators didn't hone in on Kohberger and seek a search warrant for his cell phone data until after the investigative genetic genealogy, IgG, results came back identifying him, a law enforcement source with knowledge of the investigation told Slate. Police said they first became aware of Kohberger on November 29, when a WSU police officer researched white Hyundai Elantras at the university while seeking information about such vehicles related to the crime, according to the affidavit. About a half hour later, another WSU officer located Kohberger's vehicle parked outside his on-campus apartment, police said. Law enforcement obtained search warrants for records of cell phones that used cell towers close to the area of the King Road home in Moscow where the victims were killed as part of this investigation, the affidavit read, without providing a date. Based on evidence, police believe the homicides occurred between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m., but Kohberger's phone did not register in the area between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. on December 23. Investigators obtained another search warrant for expanded records of Kohberger's cell phone dating to when police said he opened the account with AT&T on June 23, 2022, the affidavit read. The records showed him in the vicinity of his WSU apartment at 2:42 a.m. and appearing to leave the area 5 minutes later, with his phone not reporting to the network again until 4:48 a.m., south of Moscow along US 95, near Blaine, Idaho, and north of Genesee. Further review of the records showed Kohberger's cell phone in the area of the King Road home from 9:12 a.m. to 9:21 a.m. on November 13, police said. In addition, his cell phone appeared to be in the same area at least a dozen times prior to that date, according to the affidavit. A very serious person. Kohberger's neighbor told the Statesman that he was back in his home nation for WSU's winter break when he heard police arrested a suspect in the Moscow case. A friend posted a message in a group WhatsApp thread, he said, noting that the person lived in the man's housing complex. He said he immediately searched for more information on Google, and saw that Kohberger was the person accused in the deaths of U of I seniors Madison Mogan and Kaylee Gonsalves, junior Shauna Kernodle and freshman Ethan Chapin. It's shocking, the man said. Still seeing his picture on the news, it's very shocking. He thought back to Kohberger owning a white Hyundai Elantra that he parked in the lot where they walked together several months earlier. Moscow police were seeking information about anyone driving such a vehicle after they obtained video footage from the early morning hours of November 13 that showed a white sedan in the area of the King Road homicides. The last time he saw Kohberger, the man said, was either the last week of November or first week of December, 2 or 3 weeks after the incident roughly 9 miles away, which quickly drew national attention to the region. The neighbor said they greeted each other in passing, and he didn't notice or remember anything different about Kohberger from that short interaction. He jogged his memory with the Statesman on Sunday, recalling his walk with Kohberger in August. What he said was his only substantive conversation with his neighbor. Their other exchanges entailed the two students just saying hello, and Kohberger suggesting they go on a hike together sometime. As they strolled the complex's parking lot at the end of the fall semester's first week of classes, they talked over the sounds in the area of college students socializing, he said. Many people here were partying, and you could hear it all over the city, the neighbor said. He said he was not into partying. He said they're wasting their time, something like that. Kohberger shared with him that he ate only one meal per day, the man said. Kohberger is vegan and has requested his meals in jail be in accordance with his preferred diet, News Nation reported. Over the course of Kohberger and his neighbor's conversation, which included discussion of their areas of research in separate WSU doctoral programs, the man said he couldn't recall Kohberger ever smiling or laughing. He was kind of serious, a very serious person, the neighbor said. Investigators also appear interested in the man's recollections of Kohberger. Detectives with the Moscow Police Department last week contacted him about their relationship, he said, after they found his cell phone number in Kohberger's phone. Just how we met each other, what was his personality, these kinds of things, he told the Statesman, declining to offer more specifics, citing the nature of the situation and law enforcement's involvement. Moscow Police Captain Anthony Dollinger, spokesperson for the department, would not confirm to the Statesman that investigators contacted and interviewed the neighbor, citing a gag order in the case. Lada County Judge Megan Marshall issued the non-dissemination order on January 3, barring law enforcement and attorneys from making statements outside of submitted court records. The neighbor also said he provided police with a screenshot of his and Kohberger's brief text thread, which included just 2 messages, starting off with the man confirming his number to Kohberger after their August 26 walk. The screenshot, reviewed by the Statesman, included a phone number with an Eastern Washington area code, with the last 4 digits 8458. In the affidavit, police previously identified Kohberger's cell phone number having the same last 4 digits, and search warrants for Kohberger's apartment and campus office unsealed by a judge Tuesday included the same number. "Hey, neighbor. How is your semester so far?" A text dated September 21 that appeared to be from Kohberger read. The neighbor said he was too busy to reply at the time, and then later forgot. The two didn't text again, he said. The neighbor said he didn't return to Pullman until after investigators performed a search of Kohberger's apartment on December 30. A Whitman County Superior Court judge previously sealed those search warrants until March 1, citing threats to the public and law enforcement, and maintaining the integrity of the investigation. Premature public disclosure of the details of this law enforcement investigation will create a serious and imminent threat to law enforcement, and could result in the premature end of this investigation, which could create a threat to public safety, Judge Gary Libby wrote in the records, obtained by the Statesman. Whitman County Prosecutor Dennis Tracy requested instead the 2 warrants be unsealed January 17, which Libby approved. Other neighbors recall night owl mention of homicides. On Sunday, when a Statesman reporter visited Kohberger's apartment building, nearby tenants were mostly reluctant to answer questions. The resident directly below Kohberger's second-story unit had a sign taped to the front door, "No interviews. Thank you." Several other neighbors either declined Statesman requests to speak about Kohberger or said they didn't know him. Angela Alvarez, a WSU senior psychology major, lives with her family in the other first-floor unit in Kohberger's building, but said she was unavailable to talk. She previously told the Daily Beast that Kohberger was a night owl who generally kept to himself. "He was frequently gone," Alvarez said, "and she'd rarely see him before midnight. He would usually park his white Elantra right in front of her unit," she said. "I always see his headlights flash in my front windows," Alvarez said. The parking space was one of the few vacant in front of the building Sunday. As police took Kohberger into custody in eastern Pennsylvania, they also seized his vehicle. Another unidentified neighbor told CBS News last week that Kohberger at one point mentioned the Moscow killings to him. "He brought it up in conversation, asked if I had heard about the murders, which I did," the man said. "And then he said, it seems like they have no leads. It seems like it was a crime of passion." Moscow Mayor Art Betch used the same phrase a day after the homicides in an interview with the New York Times, before walking it back as just one of a number of possibilities. A classmate of Kohberger's in WSU's graduate criminal justice and criminology program told the Statesman earlier this month that Kohberger was known for being outspoken and sharing his opinions during class. But when the nearby homicides were brought up during a class discussion, Kohberger stayed quiet. "He was completely silent," the classmate said. Kohberger made his second appearance in Idaho court last week and remains in Lada County Jail with no bond. He is next scheduled to appear for a preliminary hearing on June 26. This story.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me get this off my page so it'll stop playing. Okay. And Sifa, I got your other 2 emails as well. I just seen them on here. Okay. So that was the thing I was wanting to play y'all the other night, Tuesday night before I got sick, which I thought was interesting that he already had done this whole DNA testing thing. So I don't understand why they needed his dad's DNA or more DNA from when he was in Pennsylvania. Okay, one second, y'all. Let me catch up. Okay. And if I've missed anyone coming in, I do apologize, but thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. LJD3, how are you? I'm just going back through making sure I haven't missed anyone, y'all. Idaho flower lover, how are you? Okay. Okay, give me 1 second because I need to move these emails out of my stuff so I don't get them mixed up here. Mark, how are you? Hey, the suspect way, how are you? And yes, I do feel a little bit better. Let's see, only came okay, may not have gotten the DNA results back. That is true, Justine, because it didn't say really how long before. Well, it said he talked to the guy in August, wasn't I believe the first time, so sometime before that, and I don't know how long it takes for results like that to come back in. All right, give me a second. All right, so I do have another video, and then I also have the new gag order. Oh Lord, that was loud. That we can go over as well after this video. See if I missed something in chat. And mods, let me know if I need to slow the chat down anymore. Yeah. Oh my gosh. This keeps playing and I don't want it to keep playing. See, they may have seen a relative's profile before his. I'm just catching up real quick, y'all. Just sent a picture of the beach house, California I've been telling you about. Did you get the email? Emerald Queen, I'll have to check it in just 1 second. All right. So this is just talking about that the judge expands Kohberger's gag orders to include the victim's attorneys. So we won't be hearing any more from Shannon Gray, which is the Gonzalez family's um, attorney. So he won't even get to talk anymore. But I wonder though about if this is going to include, I don't remember if it does or not, but include his attorney that he had back in Pennsylvania, because he seems like he likes to talk a lot too. Mrs. Kelly, how are you? Hey, Kenny, how are you? All right, so let me get this one pulled up here for y'all. Tina Marie, that's fine, honey. I'm going slow tonight, trying not to get too ahead of myself. I gotta start learning how to take things slower, y'all. So yeah, please just bear with me. All right. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Hold on, I need to get this pulled up on my phone too, where I can see it. Okay. Thank you, 9 millimeter. Okay. All right, so this one's only just like 2.5 minutes. I'm gonna mute out, but y'all know if y'all can't hear it, just let me know.
Judge in the Idaho college student murders case is getting stricter on who can and cannot speak with the media. The expanded gag order now includes the victims' families and their attorneys. Suspect Bryan Kohberger has not yet entered a plea. He has been charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder, burglary, and is due back in court in June. Senior national correspondent Bryan Enton has been on this case since the very beginning. So, Bryan, this new gag order applies to just about everyone involved, it seems.
Yeah, it does, Kelly. This caught a lot of us by surprise who have been covering this case very, very closely because there was already a strict gag order in place for the last several weeks or so that pretty much prevented both sides, the prosecution, the defense attorneys, and any law enforcement involved in the case from talking at all about the case. So we weren't getting very much information officially. Well, now the judge has signed off on a new gag order that takes that even farther, now including pretty much everyone involved, including attorneys representing the victims' families in the case. And you'll remember many times in the past it has been those attorneys who have been the ones speaking out, speaking for the victims, giving us some information about what's going on behind the scenes. It appears that is all now going to stop. There have been some leaks over the last week or so, Kelly, and it seems the judge not happy about that, really clamping down now with this very, very strict gag order.
Really interesting, Bryan. So, what have you learned? You've been doing excellent reporting about this reporting that Kohberger interacted with some of the victims on Instagram.
Yeah, so this was actually People Magazine that broke the story this week. They're the only ones who had it, that Kohberger sent an Instagram message to one of the victims before the murders, and that it may have been in the unread folder. It's sort of an interesting gray area, at least for me, because when we first got the name Bryan Kohberger as the person who was going to be arrested, we got the name a little bit before it was made public. And the first thing I did was went on social media and tried to find any accounts that he may have had before the name went out to the world. I couldn't find anything. And then within an hour of the name going out, Kelly, there were all sorts of accounts that had been created, all sorts of people making up fake accounts. So it's a tricky area to try to look back into social media because you don't know what's real from what's fake.
All right. And we know you're just reporting the facts. Bryan Enton, thank you for that update.
Thank you for watching.
Okay. All right. Let me get this off my screen and then go to my other thing here so I can pull up. Let me find it. The updated gag order. Okay. Hold on. I seen something. Um, Tammy C, how do you know that? I know that there's been a lot that's been said about the whole, like, the new gag order or updated one, um, about them unsealing the search warrant. Hold on, I gotta zoom into this, y'all, because I cannot read it like that. All right, let me pull it up here for y'all. Hey, Lawnmower Man, how are you? I mean, I haven't heard that that's the reason why they updated it. Okay, Emerald Queen, you can see it all right. Okay, so this is just in the District Court of the Second Judicial District of the State of Idaho, in and for the County of Latah. It's the State of Idaho versus Bryan C. Kohberger. It's amended non-dissemination order. Okay, and this is just the amended one. Like I said, it's only like 2 pages, and it says that there is a balance between protecting the right to a fair trial for all the parties involved and the right to free expression as afforded under both the United States and the Idaho Constitution. To preserve the right to a fair trial, some curtailment of the dissemination of information in the case is necessary and authorized under the law. Therefore, based upon the stipulation of the parties and with good cause, I hereby order that the attorneys for any interested party in the case, including the prosecuting attorney, defense attorney, and any attorney representing a witness, victim, or victim's family, as well as the parties to the above entitled action, including but not limited to investigators, law enforcement, personnel, and agents for the prosecuting attorney or defense attorney, are prohibited from making extrajudicial statements, written or oral, concerning the case, except without additional comment or quotation from or reference to the official public record of the case. All right, so now this includes the victim's attorneys or victim's family's attorneys. All right, so number 2 says the order specifically prohibits any statement which is a reasonable person would expect to be disseminated by means of public communication that relates to the following. And it's evidence regarding the occurrence or transactions involved in the case, the character, credibility, reputation, or criminal record of a party, victim, or witness, or the identity of a witness or the expected testimony of a party, victim, or witness. The performance or results of any examination or test, or the refusal or failure of a person to submit to an examination or a test. Any opinion as to the merits of the case or the claims or defense of a party, and any information a lawyer knows or reasonably should know is likely to be inadmissible as evidence in a trial that would, if disclosed, create a substantial risk of prejudicing an impartial trial. Any information reasonably likely to interfere with a fair trial in the case afforded under the United States and Idaho Constitution, such as the existence or contents of any confession, admission, or statement given by the defendant. The possibility of a plea of guilt or any opinion as to the defendant's guilt or innocence. It is further ordered that no individual covered by this order shall avoid its uh, pros I can't yeah, if the more I zoom it in, the more blurrier it gets. Okay, so shall avoid its prescriptions as actions directly or indirectly and deliberately then result in violating this order. It's further ordered that this order and all provisions herein shall remain in full force and effect through the entirety of the case unless otherwise ordered by the court. That was dated just 2 days ago on the 18th. And then it's by Megan Marshall, which is the magistrate judge. So that's the new non-dissemination or the new gag order, basically updated. Okay, 1 second. There was a comment. Okay. Let me see. Remember when they said to keep police safe? Okay. Tater Tot, how are you? All right, yeah, I'm just catching up real quick in the chat. All right. Now this other video that I have, I'm gonna play this and then I have something that was put out going against this. And this is just saying that Kohberger visited Idaho victims' workplace, followed them on Instagram. Now there was a thing that was also said that I was gonna go over with y'all Tuesday as well. That had stated that Bryan Kohberger, was sending messages on Instagram to one of the victims. They never did say which one of the girls it was, just that he would say, "Hey, how are you?" And she never responded back to him. And he ended up sending more messages, but once again, she never responded to any of the messages. They never came out and said who it was, um, if it was Maddie, Kaylee, or Xana. Um, I don't know if that's gonna be brought up in court. It'd be nice if it was. If that has anything to do with the murders, if him visiting the Mad Greek restaurant has anything to do with the murders or what. But like I said, I'm gonna play this video where it's talking about that he had visited um, the restaurant. Allegedly, he went there and got vegan pizza, but then the Mad Greek restaurant has came back with a response to it. So I'll read that after this video here. And I guess I need to share my page. Okay.
The Idaho college student murders case is getting stricter on who can and cannot speak with the media. The expanded gag order now includes the victims' families and their attorneys. This comes after a newly unsealed search warrant was made public, showing what was taken from Bryan Kohberger's apartment. We're also learning new information between Kohberger and the victims, specifically the girls. According to People magazine, Kohberger visited the restaurant at least twice, where Xana and Maddie both worked. He also followed Kaylee, Maddie, and Xana on Instagram and even tried messaging them. Steve Helling exclusively reported these new details. He's a senior crime writer with People magazine, and he joins us now. Steve, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
It's great to have you. Law enforcement tells you they're aware that Kohberger ate at the restaurant where two of the victims worked, followed three of the female victims on Instagram, even repeatedly messaged one of them and never got a response. So what could the reasoning be, do you think, for investigators withholding that evidence?
Well, right now, I think that investigators are really trying to put together an airtight case. They're trying to figure out something that they can do to make sure that they have a conviction. And so they're not going to tell us everything. You know, obviously, we're hearing bits and pieces, which is what happens in these situations, as you know. But we're never going to know everything that the cops have until the time comes that they're ready to tell us.
Interesting. So the judge overseeing the case, expanding a gag order to cover any attorneys involved, even with the slightest connection. Is there anything specific that you know of that may have prompted that? Was there a concern about information maybe being improperly leaked, or maybe worries of tainting a jury, perhaps?
Well, you know, one of the things that all of us journalists do is we get our sources, and we get them very early on in the process. You know, we start reaching out when something bad happens. And so, you know, a lot of us had sources, including myself, and we ran a lot of stuff that maybe the judge doesn't want to be out there. It kind of shows us that we are headed down the right track, because suddenly we have a much more strict, you know, gag order. I don't expect there to be any more leaks after this, because it's pretty clear that nobody's allowed to talk.
Yeah, that certainly seems to be the case. So is there anything that could indicate Kohberger visited this restaurant with the intention of stalking or hurting Xana or Madison? Or do you think this is really about his strict dietary restrictions?
Well, you know, that in that area, there's very few restaurants that serve exclusive, or that serve vegan food, that they use, you know, separate ingredients. They use separate part of the kitchen. And the Mad Greek just happened to be one of those places. I don't get the feeling, and I don't believe that the cops get the feeling, that the first times he went there for any other reason but to get a vegan pizza. You know, whether or not his paths crossed with the girls there, and whether or not that's where it started, that's something that the cops would know for sure. But we know for sure that he ate there at least twice, probably more. And, you know, that was a place that was familiar to him.
Interesting. So what other big questions do you still have about the case? What more do you think we'll be learning between now and the next hearing in June?
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, we have, what is it, almost 5 months now. And during these next 5 months, I'd like to know, you know, what, other than the cell phone pinging and the DNA, what else did they have that led them to Bryan Kohberger? And more than that, you know, what's the motive? I think that's what everybody wants to know. who was the intended victim and what was the motive. And both of those things are information that the police have been keeping close to the chest for right now.
Yeah, certainly will be interesting. Well, Steve Helling, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to
Okay. So let me grab the response from the Mad Greek. See, I truly believe he was rejected and lost his mind. I mean, that seems plausible, honestly, Big Al. I mean, he saw pretty girls. He possibly made a comment to them, flirted with them, messaged them. Yeah, and they rejected him. And the way he is and his controlling ways and narcissistic and everything else, he didn't take the rejection very well. All right, so this is going to be the response from the Mad Greek. Let me zoom in on it a little bit. All right, so it says, and this was posted an hour before I got it. Not to mention he's creepy as fuck. Yes, that too. All right, so it says the news media should really do their due diligence before running with the story with completely fabricated information. This will be my only response to the story from people. It is not true. This person who wants their 5 minutes of fame has now caused a whole bunch of extra work for myself and the investigators. I have also not forbidden employees from speaking to reporters. We all decided collectively to support the families and not share anything that could potentially harm the investigation or cause the families more stress. To all the media, reporters, and internet sleuths, etc. Please allow us to grieve the loss of our friends and coworkers. This has been incredibly hard on us. With our phones ringing off the hook, reporters banging on my door at my private residence, and hunting down employees, as well as showing up constantly at the restaurant. We have not been afforded the time to grieve. Please stop calling, messaging, knocking, and showing up. I personally will not be doing any interviews or entertaining wild accusations at this time. My employees feel the same. To all others, please don't believe everything that you read. If it's not coming from the courts or the police, wait until it does or doesn't before judging. To everyone who has supported myself, my family, and my employees, thank you. Your kind words and support help us get through each day while we navigate these unknown times. Respectfully, and Jackie Fisher, which is from the Mad Greek. Hey, the other Sharon, how are you? So I don't know where People Magazine is getting their information. I do believe that they're also the one that put out first about uh, him sending messages into, hey, a voice for hope, how are you? Sending DMs to one of the girls. Like I said, I don't know where they're getting it from, but this is coming straight from the owner of the Mad Greek. They're saying that the story that's being put out by people is not true. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if he really ate there or he really didn't. I don't know if the Mad Greek is just not wanting their name out there like that because you know, people may think badly of them, or what the reason is, or if it just isn't true altogether. I don't know. But it seems like for some reason there's a lot of misinformation put out, and it's kind of hard to know who to believe and not to believe. There's people going on panels saying this and this was said and that was said, and what happened that morning that we're being told by police isn't true. And then we've got magazines putting out information like this, and we got the owner coming back saying it's not. I mean, it's kind of hard to believe or figure out what's true and what's not, honestly. All right, give me a second. Let me make sure that's all I have from oh wait, we got this too. Oh shoot. Yeah, I feel sorry for the victims who lost their lives far too soon and for the innocent people who just want to grieve. Yeah. I mean, yeah, if it's what People Magazine is saying, if it's not true, they don't need to put stuff out there. Because then they put it out there, people start calling into the police department. Police department, if they're getting a tip, they have to investigate it. And it's just taking up time and resources. All right, let me go over this. See, I said about transaction history. Yeah, right. Like, I mean, they can just go in and look up, if he's, well, I mean, they can get camera footage if it's still available. They can look up transaction history, debit cards, credit cards, uh, anything like that, and see if he's been there. All right, so this was also sent to me. Second and third person. Jesse, and that is true. Days for interviews. It probably said that it was an ex. Marissa, I want to say that they did say that it was an ex-employee that put it out about him coming there, and that he ordered the vegan pizza, and that he stood out because he wanted to make sure that none of the utensils had contact with meat products or animal products, which we already know that that was put out by his aunt, like, right after he was arrested. So that would have been something that they could have gotten, from the news already, and just use that to make up an article. Okay. Alright, so real quick, this right here is just the Superior Court, Whitman County, Washington. It's the state of Washington, the county of Whitman, and it's the return of a service of search warrant residing in storage closet, or residence in storage closet. And I've also got, hey Jody, it's cool. How are you? Um, I do have what the search warrant and what all they asked to go in and look for in his apartment. I'm gonna go over that here in a minute. But this one right here was by Judge Gary Levy. I believe that's how you pronounce the judge's last name. He's out of Washington. This was, let's see, date issued on the 29th, date served on the 30th. And then these are just the items that were seized. One nitrate type black glove. One Walmart receipt with the Dickies tags. And then he's got two Marshall's receipts. A dust container from a Bissell Power Force vacuum. Let's see, 8 possible hair strands, 1 fire TV stick with cord and plug, 1 possible animal hair strand. And a lot of people are thinking that maybe this possible animal hair could be off of Murphy, Kaylee's little dog. And then they have 4 other possible hair strands. Then his computer tower, which I don't remember who was doing the video, but it showed them as they were taking his computer out of his apartment. Then they collected a dark red spot, one collection of dark red spot collected without testing. They didn't say where that dark red spot was collected from, just somewhere in his apartment. Then they got 2 cuttings from an uncased pillow of reddish brown stain, larger stain tested. And then they've got 2 top and bottom of mattress covers packaged separately, both labeled C, multiple stains, 1 tested. Apache girl, how are you? So apparently he had a reddish brown stain on his pillow, which could be a bloody nose. Yeah, shaving, like Lawnmower said, pimple, anything like that. It can be from that. Um, the the one collection of the dark red spot though, I don't understand why they didn't say where they got it from. Like, did they get it from a carpet? Did they get it like clothing? Where did they get it from? King Scarlet. Hold on just a second, y'all. Okay. I mean, yeah, the bloody pillow or well, I'm not even gonna say bloody because it just says a reddish brown stain. There's like some media people that are running with it being blood, and it's not even saying blood on here. Let's see. Let me see. Are the hairs from the vacuum? Michelle, I don't know. 'Cause they posted so number 5 says 8 possible hair strands, so it makes it seem like they got 8 possible hair strands maybe out of his hairbrush or something like that. Hey, Ashley B, how are you? Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better. So maybe they got 8 possible hair strands out of a hairbrush, and then these was it number 8, 9, 10, and 11? Hey, Sean, how are you? That may just be possible hairs that they found throughout the apartment, and they had to package them up separately. Okay, the hairs could be from a previous tenant, be a landlord, etc. Yes. Okay, it could be blood or it could be another stain. Cause yeah, because they don't say that it's blood, just a reddish brown stain. Like I said, from an uncased pillow, that can be from anything. Like I said, he could have had a nosebleed, could have been shaving, a pimple, anything. I just wish they would have put in there where the collection of dark red spots. Satin Bee, how are you? Be interested to know where they got the hair from and what length. Yes, like color and everything, GOP Nick. That would be interesting. Let's see. Animal hair could have been a mouse hair. Because a lot of people are saying that Lil Murphy doesn't shed, which may be true. I know that there are some dogs out there that doesn't shed. Um, let's see. Bed bug poop is red brown, looks like rust. Well, honey, that could be where they were talking about the 2 top and bottom of mattress covers packaged separately, both labeled, multiple stains. That could be bed bugs that he had. Right, Moonville. They even though a dog doesn't shed, he still could like if the dog would have just reared up on him or anything, or he grabbed the dog to try to get him back into the room or keep him from getting out or just anything, he could have gotten some of Murphy's hair on him. Yeah, I wonder if he used the mattress covers to cover his seats in his car. William, that is a good possibility. I mean, he could have. Killer arms. See, easily a shaving cut. Yeah, I mean, it could be anything on his pillow. I think they're gonna get the most of probably out of the hair. Hey, Casey, how are you? Out of the hair, I don't think out of the dust container they would get that after 7 weeks, unless he just didn't empty out his dust container. Probably won't be nothing in there. The Walmart receipt and the Marshall's receipt, though, are interesting because I wonder if there's something on there like a black shirt or black pants or anything, gloves, a mask, anything like that that he purchased and then kept the receipt on it. Okay, so golden doodles, prone to attracting and holding debris and odors. The coat type desirable for its reduced shedding and dander emitting qualities is the same coat that traps and holds unpleasant smells. Okay. Thank you for that information, White Widow baby. All right. I'm going to I'll put the link out. If anybody is more than welcome to come up. Hey, Hocus Pocus, how are you? And thank you so much. Um, anyone's welcome to come up. If you do come up, if we can, try to keep it on topic tonight. Let's see. My son has a golden doodle, does not shed. I'd read that somewhere else that they don't shed, that they're like a, what is the term that they use? A hypoallergenic dog and don't shed. Yeah, anybody who comes up, please stay on topic. Ray, hold on, please. I'm bringing you up now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you just fine.
How are you?
Uh, and how are you is the question.
I,
I'm
I'm
good.
I'm doing better.
People
Still.
were speculating about your prognosis, so
Oh,
I'm
I
just glad
know.
you're okay.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing. It was going on all day Tuesday where I couldn't get my heart rate down, and then I started having chest pain. And talked to my doctor Wednesday, and they just said more than likely it's stress. I haven't been sleeping enough. I've been overdoing it.
Yeah,
So,
it sounds like me. My daughter came over with her grandson today. My grandson today. First
mhm.
time I met him, he's like 28 weeks old.
Aw.
So I didn't get to take a nap during the day, and then I wanted to watch the Drunk Turkey show. They're live
Mhm.
today with the other
Oh, with
lady.
what's her name? Kim.
Yeah,
And
well, no, the other lady that has a string, Truth and Transparency,
oh, yeah, yeah,
she was
yeah.
on like a guest
Okay.
host.
Yeah,
But
'cause I watched part of it right before I went live. And Satin B, thank you so much for the super sticker. I got to watch part of it, and whenever Drunk Turkey and Truth and Transparency was up there, um, the Kim lady that, her kids go to WSU, and she's the one that had called in and told, like, all the information or whatever, she was on there, but I didn't get to watch the whole thing, so
you got to watch it because I guess she called the FBI on the 14th and gave them all the information she had from her daughter
mhm.
and
Yeah,
her.
something about she ended up, she called the FBI, but then something about she had to call somebody else for, like, several days in a row, but, like I said, I didn't get to I didn't get to watch the whole thing because I had to go
Well,
live.
I guess she was like fighting with her daughter to make her daughter tell them what she knew, and it took till like Thanksgiving until
Oh, wow.
what she knew came out.
Yeah, because I know she said her daughter knew, or her daughter said that she knew by 10 o'clock that morning, like, the details of what had happened
Hmm.
and all that, which is crazy because if everybody knew by 10 o'clock, then, like, why wait and call the police? You know what I'm saying? Like, at 11 what was it, 11:56 or 11:58 AM?
Yeah, well, they were speculating that possibly Le had Kohberger's name, like at that time, like within the first week.
Yeah, I heard that too. That his name was brought up, and that they were looking into him within a week after the murders had happened.
From what she said, I think Bethany is going to be witness numero uno.
Wait, Bethany is?
Yeah, well, I'll go over just quick synopsis. Watch it yourself.
Okay.
That they had looked out the window, saw two people outside as well as the person inside,
So, yeah.
and that they went to bed together. That's
Oh,
what the
wow.
daughter had relayed to the mom.
Yeah, but I mean, I wonder how much of that is true though. Because
Well,
like,
I knew that the mom, thought it, true enough to make, to
yeah,
inform the FBI of what was relayed to her.
right. Because I know that there was rumors that people was being called like as early as 8 o'clock that morning. What is the sorority? The shit, the Pi Beta Phi.
Yeah, well, the
Um,
the mother said that they need to look at Sigma Chi, and
oh
she said
yes,
she don't care about a gag order or anything like that. She had mentioned about in Pullman because her son, I think her son goes to Pullman and the daughter goes to Idaho, and that the son, she didn't want him in Greek life because there was heroin
hmm,
in the Greek row over there, and she had informed the police about it as well.
yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it because, like I
Yeah,
said, I only got to,
really good.
whenever I put it on there, uh, oh, what's her name? Is her name Lena? Is that her name from Truth and Transparency?
Yeah, that's her name.
Uh, Whenever I had first put it on there, she was asking her like so many questions. I forgot even now what the questions were about. And then I watched maybe 5 minutes after she was done with the questions where they were just basically generally talking or whatever. And then I didn't get to watch any more of it. So I'm gonna have to go back
Well, it took a while
and
for her to
watch it.
actually like go through the story from kind of the beginning because the
Hmm.
one guy was really drunk and he kept interrupting.
Oh, okay, yeah, see, I didn't I missed all that. So I'll have to go back and watch it though for sure.
Yeah, it's if that's true, and I, as a parent, I wouldn't take her, whatever she said, I take her as her word.
All
She's
right.
not somebody going up for 5 minutes of fame, like the one girl that said that he came in at least twice, and I was like, that's bullshit. That's
Yeah.
bull.
Now, I did watch Chronicles of Olivia. I did get to watch her video where she talks to the Kim lady.
Yeah.
Um, she did an interview with her over the phone, and I got to watch. I think we watched most of it, and she was telling like all the different things that had went on and all that. But I didn't get to take notes on any of it. That's where I messed up. I should have took notes as Kim was talking and telling her story, and the questions that Olivia was asking her.
Well, I guess Kim had told the Drug Turkey show this information like a week ago or a little over a week, and
Hmm.
he vetted it before he brought her back on.
Yeah, I do remember seeing that he actually like went through some social media accounts or something and uh vetted like where her kids go to school at and who they was it her daughter's boyfriend. Her son plays he's an athlete. I believe she said that her daughter's boyfriend is also an athlete.
A football player.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and he went through and vetted all that, so he knew that all of that she was telling was the truth.
Yeah.
So I missed these since Tuesday night. I've missed a lot. I haven't even been on YouTube until today. So I've been trying my best to rest, so I'm completely behind on everything. It's crazy. Like, if you just miss one day, it's almost like you get behind on a year's worth of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, she did, you know what I mean?
Mm,
This information was out over a week ago, or at
yeah.
least a week ago.
Yeah, I watched her, I think the first or second time she was on the Drunk Turkey Show. I remember watching it. Let's see.
If it's true, I still kind of think maybe Kohberger is being made to be a patsy.
I don't know, do you think that he had people with him?
Well, if he was even there, I still, like I say, I've always say presume him innocent until he's proven guilty.
Right.
You know, if you're gonna have DNA, if you're gonna wipe down, your sheath, I would think you'd wipe it all the way down because he went in
Yeah.
there with gloves. He didn't.
See, that's what didn't make sense to me, and I think I brought that up. Like, okay, if you wipe the sheath down before you go in there, in case for whatever reason you may lose it or drop it and not know that you drop it or whatever, um, like, why did he not wipe it down good enough? Or whenever he took the knife out of it, you have to undo that snap to take it out. So, did he have a hole in his glove whenever he unsnapped it? Did he have his gloves off whenever he unsnapped it? Why is it just DNA on that one little spot of the
Well,
sheet?
it'll come out in the wash. Everything at his house will come out. You know,
Right.
if none of it links, none of his cellular data links, nothing
Mhm.
links other than him driving by 12 times in a 6-month period. I still say that is so thin. Unless like 11 of them times were within a week period.
Right. And they said it was since June?
Yeah,
I
since
believe it
June.
was June. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, just like I think it might have been you that said that in the chat about the spots on the pillow. It could be from shaving or whatever.
Well,
Like
I've
I
always
said.
said I get nosebleeds sometimes, and
Mhm.
I've had pillows that got stained, and once they get stained, I don't care how many times you wash it, that shit ain't coming
Right.
out.
Yeah. And Must've Got Lost just said in the chat that he probably opened it with his mouth or teeth. I didn't even think about that.
Well, if you
Like,
open it with your mouth or teeth, it'd be saliva.
yeah. Let's see. I'm just catching up real quick. And Must've Got Lost, how are you? I'm trying to make sure I haven't missed anybody. And Tater Tot saying that there's too many characters in the story. That is true.
Well, I've said like since the beginning when they said that footprint and it's not visible to the eye, I say someone cleaned that up. And they also say about the chairs that somebody put those chairs down. Ellie didn't do it.
Oh, the bar stools at the back
Yeah,
door.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Philly
they also
Sports,
said
thank you.
that the front door was open,
Oh,
and
really?
people speculated they opened the door to air out the house because it smelled like blood.
Oh, yeah. Philly Sports, thank you so much for the super sticker, and it says balls. Thank you. That was very nice of you. Yeah, can you imagine just the smell? You
Well,
know,
I've cleaned quite a few animals and fish
right.
in my life, and I know what that smells like, and it's
Exactly.
pungent.
Yeah, I mean, I said that, I don't know, probably a week ago. If you've never cleaned a deer or been around when a deer has been cleaned, even fish, like the smell is there. It's you can't help but to smell it. It's basically a smell that you never forget. So I could just imagine, without being too graphic, what that house smelled like. There's four people who has been brutally murdered, um, in the way that they were. So there had to have been blood all over the place. The smell had to be there. I just don't know how they could have stayed in that house with it like that.
Well, I mean, again, this is more speculation. If there was drugs connected, you got to get
Yeah,
rid of the drugs before you call, and they called, everybody else before the police.
I know, I just don't understand that, but then again, yeah, I get it if there's drugs involved and they want the drugs out of the house. Um, eh, I don't know, but let me ask you your opinion on this though, Ray. If you were put in Dylan and Bethany's shoes, and let's just say back whenever you were young and in college, and something like that happened in the house where you were staying, and there was drugs in the house, would you worry about getting the drugs out, or would you worry about calling the police because your friends had just been murdered?
Well, if I knew something or was connected, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? I'm gonna confer with other people or get other people over there to convolute the evidence, you know?
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
I'd get rid of the drugs or hide them good enough. But if police are gonna come, you got to get rid of it. I mean,
Yeah.
I've lived, in my earlier days a partial criminal life, and I've been in situations where police were searching a house for drugs, and they never found them, but they were there.
Mhm. Okay, some people are saying call the cops, some are saying get the drugs out.
Well, if I'm not
Yeah.
connected, I'm calling the cops. I'm not
Right.
caring about drugs or anything else. I'm calling the cops. If
Yeah.
if I heard something or saw something, I'm calling the cops.
Mhm.
Because the cops are not gonna, go in your room looking for drugs. They're gonna be, focused on.
On the crime scene
Yeah,
and
exactly.
yeah, yeah. Hey, Cheryl said I wouldn't care about the drugs, I'd call 911.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I say. If I'm not involved, if I'm involved, I'm covering my tracks. Drugs are gone. I'm
Right.
waiting. I'm, conferring with my people. How are we going to handle this? And I've been in a situation like where my life's been in jeopardy several times.
Mhm.
And I know myself, I did security at a place where, it was, like a old folks home, let's say that. But they were, low income and they were running, hookers and selling drugs.
Mhm.
And I got chased by somebody with a knife. And I ran and locked myself into a laundry room and called police instantly. And I
Okay.
was scared for my life.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it'll all come out, you know, when all this goes to court.
Well, we'll get little tidbits at least, in April. We won't have to wait all the way to June.
Right. Now, Millimeter, thank you so much for becoming a member, honey, and welcome back to the family. I'm sorry I missed it to begin with.
But I still can't see how you can identify somebody by just looking at eyebrows and eyes,
I only
unless you
thing
knew that person was there already.
right. And the only thing that I could figure with her being able to notice just the eyes and the eyebrows is if, like, the rest of his face was covered up. And, like, that's you know how, like, if you like, that's the only thing that you would be able to see? It's just the
Well, I
eyes and the
understand that,
eyebrows,
but I
but
can't see
with it being
somebody
dark.
making an identification just by a mask.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just by
I don't
seeing eyes and eyebrows.
I could see giving that description, but not saying, "Well, I know it was so and so because of their bushy eyebrows."
Unless they
Uh,
knew him, they were connected in some way, and he
mhm,
was, as I said, a patsy.
right. Uh, let's see. Mar, can you still hear me, honey? Hold on one second, Ray. I think Mar timed someone out by accident. Uh, is Mar still in here? I haven't seen her in a while. I know she said a minute ago that she had already taken her medicine, so and that she was falling asleep, so she might have done it on accident. So Ashley, if you can still hear us, honey, you were timed out by accident. I do apologize.
What
Okay.
she got like booted or
No, Mar accidentally timed her out. So she has to wait, was it 300 seconds before she can come back in, but usually if they get timed out, they can still hear me. So
yeah,
I
it's like I think a Guapo timed somebody else out the other day and it's like 300 seconds or something like
yeah,
5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wanted her to know though that it was done by accident because I do remember seeing Mars say something earlier about that she had taken her medicine and was getting sleepy. So it was probably done by accident because I didn't see Ashley say anything that was wrong or anything like that. So
But if the information that Kim lady has is legit, I mean, I can see if even if Bryan is related to it, I could see him getting off.
just by the bushy eyebrow thing,
Well, just because all the information is phone pings, in my mind, it doesn't prove anything. Um,
it doesn't show that he's at the house. Now, they're claiming that they have his car on camera where, it's going back like the morning of the murders, like it goes back, was it 3 times? And then like the 4th time it shows it goes back at 4:04 and then doesn't leave back out until 4:20. I don't know if that's gonna stick either unless they have him
he could
actually
have been
driving the
just
car.
sitting in the car doing drugs. He could have been dropping off. Like I say,
Right.
watch the Drunk Turkey show. They explain exactly how I think of it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
About with the car where he was doing, making deliveries, dropping off products.
Hold on, y'all, one second. Troll didn't hit something on his phone and his volume went up.
Because if that was his car at 3:45 at the mobile, he can't be in two places at one time.
Right. Yeah, because see, that doesn't make sense either, the gas station at 3:45, that just it doesn't add up. But, I mean, I would think that they would have to have video of him driving the car or him getting out of that car that they see on camera, getting out of it and then getting back in it and driving and leaving from there.
Yeah, we talked about that the other night about the time kind of difference between the
Mhm.
mobile and the house.
Right. I don't know, it just I hope, if he's the
They
one who did this, and I fully believe that police have the right guy. I fully believe that he is the one who did this to them, and I think that, "Hey, the post office prince, how are you?" And I think that he should be held accountable for what he did. I just hope that whenever this goes to court, hey, Phil, that that they have everything that they need that's gonna take this guy down, and that there is no way he can get out of it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I hope so too, but I still there's just too many ifs.
right.
The evidence they do have is not strong enough for a conviction.
But then again, I see what you're saying, but then I think about, well, have they really told us everything? Because they didn't put everything, I don't believe, in that in the probable cause. I think they put just enough in there that they were able to secure the arrest warrant for him, and then that was it. Everything else they're gonna kind of hide. They're gonna
Well, you
keep
got
it
to
away
think
from
about
the public.
the second the second affidavit, the one for Washington State. They put in like a caveat about the blood evidence, like thinking that it may be thrown out.
Hold on one second. I'm gonna throw a link out for Stonegator and Ashley. Honey, I'm so sorry that was done by accident. So I do apologize for that. I think Marv finally went out for the night. Okay. I'm sorry, Ray. Go ahead.
No, I was saying in the affidavit for the warrant for his apartment and office space. They
Hmm.
didn't take nothing out of the office, only out of his apartment. So I guess they didn't find nothing
Right.
in the office. They put a caveat in there about the blood evidence, about that, it's alluding to that it could be thrown out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through. I haven't even had a chance to read the whole search warrant for his apartment yet because I didn't get it until this afternoon. So I hadn't. That's why I hadn't even really went over it tonight. I'm sure other channels already have. Um,
Well, it's just
so
as bad as the one for probable cause
well,
affidavit because half of the terminology seems like they copied and pasted half of what they wrote in the other one.
mm-hmm.
Like it's the exact same.
Oh wow. Okay. Let's see. Who was wanting to come up? I just seen it. Let's see. Anything to me? Explain to
I'm
people.
telling you,
Explain
put
to
the
go
link
down
up.
to tell
Is
you.
anybody in the background? Let me check it.
Me. I miss
See,
you.
Stone Gator is up here now, but there was somebody
Hey,
else that had asked.
welcome.
Mucinex, yes, you can come on panel if you would like. Hey, Sandra, how are you?
I just have a couple of questions for you and then I'll drop down.
Okay.
So if the room where Kaylee and Maddie was so gory and bloody, why doesn't Murphy have a drop of blood on him?
He wasn't in the room with them. He was in Kaylee's old room.
Oh, so he was by himself in the empty room.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't. Whenever police got there, they found him in the other room, and I don't know how they went about checking him or anything like that, but they said that he didn't have any evidence on him and that he had not been through the crime scene.
Okay, I have another question.
Okay.
This lady Kim, are you familiar with her?
Yeah, I've seen her a few different li not really seen her, listened to her, I'll say, a
So
few
you
different
get the
times.
yeah, you get the gist of what she's saying.
Yeah.
Do you think that that could mess with the trial?
Mm,
All the stuff she's putting out about other people being there and other suspects and Dylan and Bethany or have something to do with it. He's been there. They know him. They knew at 10. All
I
that
mean,
stuff.
if what she's saying is true,
Police
then
know it. The
yeah,
police know it
the police know it, and if it seems like they may put her under I mean, why haven't they put her under a gag order?
because she's not a witness. She's don't. She has nothing to do with it. She's just
So
It's
giving
hers
out
is
really
just
here.
information.
hearsay.
It's
So hers is just
hearsay.
here. Um,
Her daughter might. Her daughter might end up being called as a witness. So
yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know.
And then I had one more question and I forgot.
Hocus Pocus, can you hear us?
I can. Hi.
Okay, hey, how are you?
Good. Thanks for letting me up.
Oh, you're welcome. Let's see.
As far as Kim goes, I don't know. I don't believe her credibility yet. I think her daughters, she said her daughters or her kids, her daughter, son, whatever, have never been to the house. And rumor, it's just a rumor going around, so we don't know if it's fact, is her daughter was friends with the one girl that committed suicide by saying Mandy was bullying her.
Oh, you're talking about, oh, what was her
I
Hannah.
didn't. I didn't hear her say that. I didn't. She just said she was friends. I. It seemed like to me she alluded to one of the survivors.
Yeah, I did hear her say that, her daughter had never been to the house. I did hear
Right.
her say that.
Right. And, you know, why come out and put your kids in danger? Because, you know, she uses her full name. If there was drug houses up and down that road, they're going to be mad. They're going after those kids. I mean, why would anybody do that?
I'm just
I
like
never
feeling
heard her
bad
full
for
name.
any student whose mother's name is Kim. I feel bad
Yeah.
for them.
Right.
Well, that does. I never heard her name her full name,
I don't
and
even know her daughter's name.
she may have given him this information with her real name and then said, "Just call me Kim." In other words, her
Yeah,
real
like I
name may
do.
not be
Like,
Kim at all.
Her
yeah.
profile's Kim Adams.
Okay, well, let's not say her full name because honestly, I didn't know her
Right.
full name.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I didn't know her full name. I just knew her as Kim. I don't even know what her kids' names are.
I don't know what her I know it was redacted from Olivia's video she did.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know her name, but I don't know if I want to I don't know if I want to going down that rabbit hole of who that girl is.
Right. Yeah, I
I
mean,
think
I don't know. Maybe
so.
she's trying
Obviously.
to maybe she's trying to get the information out there. Um,
Well, I know when
because
she was talking on the Drunk Turkey show, you could hear her breaking down like she was about ready to cry, just talking
mhm,
about the kids, not her daughter, but the
the
victims.
victims, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe what she's telling is the truth and this is the only way that she knows how to get the truth out there. Hey, Tonka,
And,
is,
and
you know,
they live out of state. They don't even live, near where this is happening.
mhm.
And she took her son out of school, and he's gone to a different school now.
There is one thing I'd like to say about the survivors.
Mhm.
Steve did an interview with NBC, and News Nation picked it up. And from what he says, he doesn't blame them. When they woke up, they seen Ethan and screaming, running out of the house. Supposedly now, per Stephen, she passed out. Dylan did, and the other girl just was rambling. She was like in shock, didn't make sense. But Dylan, before she passed out, was calling 911, and people gathered around to see what was going on. People were running over from that other sorority, the guy one, and they finished a phone call, a bunch of different ones, saying that they had an unconscious girl on the ground. They didn't even go into the house yet, but one of those other sorority brothers ended up calling Ethan's brother and a bunch of other people. It wasn't Dylan. Dylan did not call friends first. And I can't see her running out of the house passing out if she had already called friends and got the drugs out. You know what I mean? I mean, they
Mhm.
were in the state. Steve said that they were like psychotic,
Okay,
freaking
and
out.
which news people did you
Well,
say that Steve did the interview with that interview?
And NBC, but News Nation picked it up, and I can find the link and send it to you on Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I believe Steve, I really do. And he and the daughter said, they do not blame, um, you know,
Mhm.
those girls at all, that they know that they were good friends and had nothing to do with this. So I will find you the link, and that's kind of all I wanted to say. So I'll
Okay.
jump that down and get you that link.
Okay, yeah, just send it over to me on Twitter, that'll be fine.
Thanks, guys.
Alright, thank you for coming up.
Thanks.
Alright.
One more
so,
question, if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
I don't remember what it was. I'm sorry. I'm tired and I have a lot of brain fog going on right now. It had to do with what Hocus was saying. Oh,
well,
do you think that Kim saying that it's a fact that there were other people in the house and there's other suspects there, there was more than one person in the house and all that? Do you think that that's a hand up for BK, them saying that there's a possible other suspect?
I mean, honestly, I don't know because it hasn't been confirmed. I mean, they haven't arrested anyone else yet. I mean, I've said before that I think that he might have had help with maybe planning it. Um, maybe someone driving the car for him. I don't think he had any help inside of the house. I think that was, all him. So I don't know because I don't want to say, oh yeah, there was more people outside and what everybody's saying that Dylan seen 3 people outside, through the bedroom window outside, and one of them was a creepy dude, and the creepy dude was the one that she saw in the house, because none of that's really been confirmed, you
And
know?
it doesn't make sense. I can see maybe the one person in the house or whatever happening, but if
Mhm.
she saw two people outside her window or outside the house, and then she saw the one stranger inside her house, there's no way in heckaroni that I would not call 911 with three suspicious people in my yard
Exactly.
at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I do believe he acted alone, but I was just wondering because I'm like going around trying to listen to everybody's theories just to see what, fits in and
What I'd like to
makes
add to
sense.
that is, regardless, she didn't call 911. Either story is the truth. You know what I mean? They
Mhm.
didn't call 911 until
Um,
12
can my
something.
mods okay, never mind. Y'all blocked him. Okay, so I just wanna make sure that JJ was blocked. He's not gonna come in my chat being disrespectful to the victims like that. I'm sorry, Ray, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, regardless if Kim's story is true,
Mhm.
because it's alleged until it's proven true. Just
Right.
like Brian Cope, Blowberger is guilty. Well, until it's proven he's innocent.
Innocent until proven guilty, right. Yeah.
And if Kim's story is true, nobody passed out. They weren't running around crying, and we've never heard the 911 call, so we don't know exactly what was said on it, other
Right.
than several people spoke on it.
I wish they would release the 911 call, but
But like I say, regardless of what was in the affidavit and what Kim is saying, because I mean, kids lie, and if you're involved in drugs, I mean, how many children do you really believe would tell you the truth, especially if you're involved in drugs and a killing's happened? You know what I mean?
right.
Especially if you're involved in some way, you're not going to tell the truth until it's pulled out of you. Look at all these moms that do horrible things to their children and lie about it, lie about, lie about till the body's found.
Yeah. I don't know. I just hope that whatever happened that night or early that morning, I hope it all comes
The
out.
truth comes out. That's what I hope. The
Right.
truth
I
comes
just
out.
hope no matter whether Dylan had something to do with it or if she didn't, if she did not have anything to do with it, and I'm not saying that she did, if she did not, she sh did just tell what you
And I
know.
also, on one of the sites, they pulled like all the 911 call logs. Maybe I spoke with you about this before. I can't remember what site. I tried to go back and find it because they had the list of all the 911 calls, and there was another 911 call within that same like four something, uh,
Mhm.
just like a couple of houses down,
Oh,
about
really?
somebody being in the street. Yes,
Mm, okay. I didn't know that. Isabella, how are
Thanks
you?
for having me. I'm sorry. Thanks for having me up. I'm gonna go ahead and drop down. I just had those few questions that were
Okay.
confusing me.
Okay, no problem.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for
having
coming
me
out.
up.
Oh, you're welcome.
Bye.
Have
I'll
a
be
good
in
night.
chat. Mm.
Okay. But, I was about to say something, now I forgot what it was.
I do that all the time.
Oh, okay, what I was saying is if Dylan did not have anything to do with it, then, she really has nothing to worry about. Just tell what you know and be done with it. If she did have something to do with it or she knows more than what she's telling, then she needs to come out with and tell everything that she knows, especially if it's gonna help put this guy behind bars because he's the one who done something as far as the murders.
Hmm.
Like, if there's anything she's holding back, like, she needs to tell. And it's not telling and snitching or whatever. It's she needs to tell it so this guy can be held accountable. TTU Gator, how are you? And I do wish that they would come out with the 911 call, because I think that would clear up a lot of things.
Yeah, I don't think that really has any type of, evidentiary weight. I don't think it would change anything. I don't think it would hurt the prosecution to put that out there.
No, I don't either. I just think that it would clear up a lot of internet rumors and YouTube rumors and speculations and all that because, everybody's saying that the call was she ran outside and she passed out and the call was made from outside. Then you got law enforcement on their website saying that, the call was for an unconscious person, but it was made from one of the surviving roommates' phones from inside the house because they had thought that one of their roommates were unconscious or whatever, so that's what the call was for. So, like, you got law enforcement saying one thing, and law enforcement wants everybody to believe them, but, I mean, they don't really have
Yeah,
a very
but
good track record.
didn't, didn't law
So
enforcement or somebody within the area said that an unconscious person is like a code word
yeah, I
to
did hear
get
that
her
too.
quickly.
Yeah,
It's not necessarily that there's an unconscious person, but it's a code word to get
to get
law
on
enforcement
there.
over there quicker.
Yeah. Yep, I've heard that. Hocus Pocus, I just got it, thank you. So, yeah, I've heard that too, that, um, I I guess for that town, if you say there's an unconscious person, it gets them there, the law enforcement quicker or whatever, but it is well, which now you can't see it on their daily call activity because 'cause they've taken, like, a year worth of calls off of there for some reason, um, but it did update on there and said homicide and that, the coroner and the detectives had been notified and all that. So, Kendra, how are you? And I could have swore that it had on there at one time that that call came in at 11:58 AM.
Well, I know that the one daughter when they did the interview, she said that the mom and the daughter both said the mom said like 56 and the daughter said no 59
Mhm.
when they
I
did the interview, one of the first interviews with all
Yeah,
three of
cause
them.
I remember looking at it because, like, whenever it first happened, I was going to Moscow Police Department's website every day, and I would always look at, like, their updates that they were given, and then I would always go over to the daily call activity, and I coulda swore it said on there 11:58 AM was the time of the call, and now all of a sudden it says 11:56, unless I was just seeing it wrong, and it's been 11:56 this whole time, I coulda swore to begin with it said 11:58 that that call came in, and it even has it, um, what was that in? Was it the
The,
probable cause?
the PCA, the affidavit.
Oh, I don't remember if that's what it was or not, but it was something that they put in that the call had came in at
I,
11:58.
I thought I heard Fry say it was 11:58. I mean, say it was 11:58
Yeah,
during one of his press releases.
I wanna say I heard him say that too, but I remember, like, seeing it, like
During that same interview, I said this, somebody was saying, oh, blah, blah, whatever, trying to say I was wrong. You can go back and just watch the press releases and know that what I'm saying is correct.
mhm,
The daughter had said she jailbroke the phone or she got into the information and she knew exactly when the calling came or something to that effect.
right. Oh, do you think the number call is very relevant? Probably would show a lot of
The only
okay.
relevance about the 911 call is when it came in so late after what happened. If the girl was away, there's kind of it's too
I
hard to
think
fathom not calling 911 sooner.
right. I think it'll show because they're saying even the police said that there was multiple people who talked to dispatch on the 911 call and that they had asked the dispatch had asked the guy what his name was. And so if they release that and they don't redact out his name, then we'll know at least some of the people that was over there. Alright, let's see.
But I mean,
Brian, how are
like I said,
you? Go
hey,
ahead.
what's up, Brian?
Type, let's see.
Is he here? Oh,
No, he's in chat. I was just saying hi to him.
well, I saw you put the link up. And I was
Oh, yeah, yeah,
hoping
yeah.
somebody would have put it.
I was just dropping the link.
Yeah, but to me, that's like if that's true, because it's still, it hasn't been. The police aren't gonna. They're not gonna, say anything anyhow. It's a
Mhm.
gag order, so nobody's gonna say anything.
Yeah, I know, especially with this new gag order up. Or not new and updated one. Like, now we can't even get any information from the Gonzalez family's, attorney, so
Well, like that one you just showed where the guy was saying sources. Everybody's saying sources, and so far, every time someone comes out with something and says sources, is BS.
mhm. Yeah, because that somebody said about, People Magazine when they put that article out about Bryan visiting the Mad Greek, and they said, yeah, that, they probably said a source or ex-employee, and I got to thinking, yeah, that's who they said it was, that it was an ex-employee that said he come in, um he ordered the vegan pizza, and then they listed, like, what all was on the vegan pizza, and then mentioned, well, he stood out to them because he wanted to make sure about the utensils didn't touch any other animal products or whatever, but they could have heard that when it came out after he was first arrested,
Yeah,
and
well, I watched the interview with the girl. I saw them interview,
mhm,
and I said from the beginning that's BS. She's a ex-employee. When was she working there? Ex-employee could have been last year. He didn't
right,
show up till June. You know what I mean? So, and then same with the messages. I I can't believe the messages until they're proven. You know what I mean about the Instagram or whatever that he was messaging somebody in the residence, one of the victims.
uh, Jeanette, no, honey, we're talking about, um, People Magazine. They had put out an article talking about Brian allegedly visiting the Mad Greek restaurant, while the girls were working there. So that's what we're talking about. But I did see Chronicles of Olivia's, her interview that she did with Kim. I need to watch her one that she did with the Gonzalez family. I haven't got to watch it yet.
I still haven't watched that one myself.
I wanna see it, but like I said, whenever I closed down the chat Tuesday night when I got sick, I didn't open my computer back up until today. I didn't even watch YouTube on TV. I
Then
just
again, I may have I saw one where they had like, it was like almost like a stream yard where somebody was asking questions to the Gonzalez family, and the Steve was there, and I believe his lawyer was there,
mhm. Oh, I
and
don't
they
know.
were
I
doing
haven't
like a
seen.
roundabout of questions. I don't know. No, I think it was like the family was there and the lawyer
Oh,
was
see,
there.
I haven't seen that one either. Sinful Butterfly says it's good but sad. Okay. Her interview with the family was really good. I need to watch it. I was actually waiting for it whenever, it was supposed to come out on January the 5th, and then it came out later, and then I never have watched it.
Well, I'll look it up, and if it is the one that I already saw, then yeah, it's the one I already saw.
Okay, because I know she did that one, and like I said, she did the one, I don't know if the one she put out or the one that I watched today, where she's talking to Kim on the phone. Uh, I don't know if that one came out today or not, but I watched it today, and, it was like, oh god, she talked to her for over an hour, I guess? Thank you, Sandra. Let's see. The family interview is out and the trailer is Steven. Yeah, Phil, the one that Chronicles of Olivia did with Kaylee's family, it finally came out. I don't remember what day it was that it came out. It's supposed to be January the 5th, and then it ended up coming out later, but yeah, it's out. And she actually shows like a little bit of it in I want to say it was the video that she did where she's interviewing Kim. She she showed like a trailer part of it, but I still haven't got to see it. So, okay, thank you, Phil. Hey, Lori, how are you?
Time machine time.
Wait, what?
I said time machine time. Jump in the future.
Wait, why are we jumping in the future?
Uh,
Am I missing something in chat or something?
no, the dates feel so far away.
Oh,
April and June.
Anna, how are you? It's somebody said, and I'm fixing to go back to the website real quick too, because somebody said something about that they've got something scheduled for April now.
Yeah, it's April. Like,
Is that the bail hearing that they're doing?
yeah,
I
it's bail and a couple of court orders or whatever.
Okay, let me go
Trying to
back.
reduce his bail. I guess his bail, he does
Wait,
have bail, and it's so
he
high. I don't know.
he never had bail. He he was held without bond. They never gave him a bond. Or did I miss something while I've been out where they
No,
went
I guess they haven't. Well, I would think they have to, you know what I mean? They can't hold them without giving them a bond, or they have to at least have a hearing to say, we're going to hold you without bond.
Okay, I thought that's what they did whenever he come back.
I don't remember. I watched it. I don't remember them talking about bond at all. You know what I mean?
I could
Because
have
usually they
swore.
fight over that. The prosecution will say, "I want him held without bond," and then the defense is going to say, "Well, he
Okay.
doesn't. He's not a flight risk. This, that, yada yada yada."
Oh, I mean, he would be considered a flight risk. I mean, they picked him up 2,000 miles away, which oh wait, I gotta get off this. Okay. Um,
He still has an apartment in Pullman. It's not like
right. Okay, so they stayed at no bond at the I thought that's what they said. I thought she said that the judge did. It was either the first time he was in court when he got back in Idaho or the second time he was in court. I don't remember which one it was. But she said that he was being held without bond. It might have been the second one that he did. The preliminary one. It might
Mhm.
have been that one that she said that he was being held without bond. So wait,
And so they didn't fight it.
Marissa's saying he wants a speedy trial now. Oh, see, I didn't know that either. Yeah, I'm sorry. I've literally missed read okay, hold on. Let me find 9 millimeter. Troll is telling me to okay, he possibly took away 4 lives. He will get no bond. Okay, hold on. I gotta find April is to see if he will get a bond or set it if he is getting it. Okay.
See, they haven't
All
had
right.
an actual bond hearing yet.
I
As I
just don't
say, I thought that's like one of the first steps. That to me, without, you know, some sort of litigation that,
right,
you have a right to at least, fight for a bond.
because he hasn't even pled yet. He hasn't even entered a plea.
No
Like,
bond on death penalty case. That's why.
okay, I'm not giving up 6 months of my life to skip to this shithead's arraignment.
But think of it this way: we're thinking of it, okay, based on guilt or not guilt, why
Mm.
he's staying, not asking for the speedy trial. Now that I think more about it, hey, I don't want an accident happening if I'm not guilty, and me ended up getting a death penalty for
Right.
something I didn't do. So I want my lawyers to have every bit of time to be able to put the best defense they can for me.
Mhm. Right. I mean, yeah, 'cause, the thing
And
about that,
then
though, is, like, while she's looking for a way to prove that he's innocent, law enforcement are gathering new evidence to prove that he's guilty.
exactly. So I mean, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, and you
Right.
just gotta flip the coin and go with what feels best for you.
Okay, 9 said the time difference is the call came into dispatch at 11:58. The dispatcher put it into the officers at 11:58. I'm sorry, 11:56. Dispatcher put it through the officers at 11:58. Okay. I just could have swore though it always said to begin with on the actual call log 11:58. Now it says 11:56. I don't know why that's bothered me so much, but
So it took 2 minutes of talking, so that you know what I mean.
yeah,
I
I
guess
mean
they
if
were passing the phone around for 2 minutes.
yeah, passing around trying to figure out what's going on. Um, yeah, by the time she got all that information, it could have taken that long. Let's
Oh, there
see.
was another thing I was thinking about why he would stay in jail for that long. If it was drug related and he's fearful for his life, I wouldn't want to be on the streets. I want him to get everybody that's guilty before you get me out.
Mhm.
I don't want to, because
Right.
I was telling somebody we were talking about, drugs and whatever, and
It
my
you
belief
know,
is that the cartels are like damn near in every town in the United States.
I'm sorry, y'all, my cat is literally trying to jump up here on my computer. What the heck?
She wants to talk to me.
He's never done that before, though. He just, like 'cause I guess because 'cause I'm sitting in front of a window, he's trying his best to he wants outside, I think. Troll me had to throw him out. He's jumped up in front of the TV, he's jumped up on the computer. No, it wasn't Milo, Miss Honeypenny, it was Beavis that was doing it.
Beavis.
Yeah, I have Beavis, Fuzzy Butt, and Milo. Milo's actually laying down. Beavis is being an ass tonight.
So is it Beavis from Beavis and Butthead or Beavis
Yeah,
from something? Okay.
yeah, Beavis and Butthead. My son's actually
Okay.
the one who named him that, so yeah. And then we have Fuzzy Butt. I don't know where he's at. He's fat and lazy, so he don't move around too much. John B, I think he's wanting outside, so Troll got up and put him out because he was jumping up on the dresser where the TV's at, and then ran over here and jumped up on the computer. And my gosh, just acting wild tonight, y'all. Let's see. When he gets moved from jail to a prison because of the amount of security he will need, because he is kept isolated.
Yeah,
Okay.
he'll be in isolation or lockdown until, if he's guilty, until he, you know,
Right.
meets Mr. Sparky. What type of execution does Idaho use? Is it lethal
Um,
injection? Is it
I don't know. Does anybody know? Hold on, let me look that up because what would that be considered corporal punishment? Let's see. Okay, so some people are saying lethal injection.
no? Okay.
Uh,
Well, I
oh
know
wait.
like some places, I think they're kind of like they have problems with the lethal
Or-
injection because it causes. I mean, all of them are going to cause some sort of, you know,
Right. Hmm.
pain or whatever. You know what I mean?
I think that there's only I think most states now have went to lethal injection, I believe. Yes, Lady V, you can come up. Hold on, let me grab a link.
Well, I've talked enough. I think I'm gonna drop off. Let you and her chop it up.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you
thank
for
you
your
for
time,
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming up and hanging out with me for a little while.
for sure.
All
And
right. Well,
I'm glad you're okay.
oh, thank you. I appreciate it. If I can just get some caffeine in me, I'll be okay, I think.
Well, I didn't get my nap in, and I'm starting to. We're trying to doze.
Oh, yeah, so
All
you
right.
gotta go catch up on your sleep. All right, well, have a good night then.
Thank you.
All right. Liza, can you hear me? Liza, you're muted. Okay, can you hear me?
Could you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
Mhm.
All right, let me bring Lady V up. All right, Lady V, can you hear me?
Yeah. What happened to Liza?
I don't know.
It
She
just
dropped
dropped.
down.
Oh my. How are you? You were
Uh,
sick? I
yeah, just having chest pains Tuesday night and couldn't get my heart rate down
Oh God,
and
hun.
all that good stuff. So,
What did they say? Okay,
they're going.
let me explain real quick. You're I just started my nail tech classes Monday,
Mhm.
and it was like 2 weeks early. They had a person, I went in there, they had a person that didn't show up, and so I started. So I've been out of sync all week long. And so I came up to see you, and then I heard you were sick, so I'm wondering what happened.
Yeah, that's all it was. It was going on all day Tuesday. Like my heart rate was up and I would lay down, couldn't get it to go down. So I was going to do the live Tuesday night and I just couldn't get it to go down. I told my husband, I was like, I just don't think I'm gonna be able to do the live because I
Did
don't
you
want to
go to
get,
the doctor?
I talked to the doctor the next morning and told him what was going on. He said more than likely it's stress, which probably is. Like it's normal now that it finally went down later on Tuesday night. But he said, me not sleeping and stress and overworking myself and all this good stuff, and then caffeine and, nicotine and all that. So I've basically had to cut that out like the last 4 days. And
Oh, do you
so,
have heart problems? Or is
no,
that
I never have. Um, so I'm gonna go see another doctor next week and get some tests done and all that. So hopefully everything will come out okay. And it was just stress, basically. I'm
Oh
hoping
gosh,
that's all
I
it.
hope so. The
So,
world's a better place with you in it, so take
oh,
care of yourself,
well, thank
okay?
you.
You're
I'm
sweet.
very I don't know if I can go without the caffeine though.
That,
Thank you, Huda.
honestly, that's what I would have more problems with than anything else because I like have coffee running through my veins, so I
Right.
get that.
Well, I mean, like, my husband's like, "You can't have Coke." I've literally drank so much Gatorade, y'all, that I'm sick of Gatorade, and then my husband bought some other vitamin drink that's got, like, all the different vitamins that you need or whatever. It tasted horrible, but I drank it. Um, I got 1 Coke Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday, I got a Coke, and then, like, yesterday morning, I woke up with a headache, so I had to drink some kinda caffeine so I wouldn't, but the headache didn't go away, I've still got it, so
Oh
I don't
my.
know if it's lack of caffeine or if it's lack of nicotine or what. Because I did try to vape earlier to thinking that that would help it, and it didn't help it, so
Oh man.
I don't know.
Well, I wanted to come up and say hi. Hello, Liza. I haven't got to talk to her all week either. I'm missing everybody really bad. I'm having withdrawals.
Me
I'm enjoying
too.
what I'm doing, but I'm having withdrawals.
Right. I come back and like, literally, when I closed down the chat Tuesday night, I did not open my computer or even watch YouTube until today, and I come back and there's, like, gag order updates, there's been
Yeah,
a warrant unsealed. I'm just like, I missed everything.
I know. It's like you said, definitely. You miss one day, it's like missing a year. You
A
miss like
year.
7 days, it's like, 70 years, man. It's like, what happened?
Yeah.
But I
It's
do have to say, I don't really believe I don't I don't I don't really believe this woman, the one with the
Mhm.
daughter and stuff. No, I mean, it, because if her daughter had never been over to the house, why would she know anything about it at all?
I think either she has friends who are friends with the victims or she was friends with the victims. I can't remember how that went, um, but I know that the Kim lady had said that her daughter, with them being over at WSU, whenever that alert went out
Right,
at University of Idaho, that they ended up getting it as well over at WSU.
right.
Um,
I mean, what do you think? I'm not saying I don't believe her. I'm just saying I'm not really sure. I mean, cause she sounded kind of like upset, but then,
mhm,
a lot of times people get on panel and they get all panicky and stuff too.
right.
So I wasn't sure which
Yes.
that was.
I have actually heard that in another case, a woman who sounded just like her. Um, I'm not saying that what she's saying is a lie because
Right.
I don't know. Um, but there is another case, and some people in here will know what I'm talking about, and I'm not even gonna mention the lady's name. But there was another case where a woman had got on panels and was saying different things about the case, and she sounded, as far as, like, talking like this woman,
Right.
she talked just like her, and I'd always said that it bothered me because it sounded like uh, her anxiety was getting to her while she was trying to tell her story.
Right.
And
Right.
now, I know in this other case, what this woman has said, most of it was a lie, but this case here, I don't know.
I don't either.
She could be fully telling the truth about what her daughter knows, and she's tried to get her story told to, the police and the FBI, and maybe they won't listen to her, or they're just not taking her serious. And
If
so
so, man,
she's
that's
on
quite a crazy story, man.
right, and she may be on YouTube because that's the only way that she knows how to get the
Right.
story out there.
Right.
So unless it comes out and they're saying, "Yeah, we checked out her stuff and it's there's nothing to it," um, I I can't I can't
Yeah,
say,
I'm the same way because it's like I was listening and I'm like, man,
because I
I
mean,
don't
some of
know.
the things that she says make sense.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some things that make sense, and it from what we know, it could be, like her saying that, Dylan and Bethany both were on the first floor and not on the Dylan was never on the second floor, that was a lie, and it but then she says, well, she looked out the window and she sees 3 people out there, and one
Yeah.
of them was a creepy guy, and then that's the creepy guy that she's seen in the house.
Yeah,
Now
that's weird. And that and them saying, okay, I caught part of it about Hunter being there and him calling his parents, but I mean, I don't,
and
wow.
see, what I heard about Hunter was, and I don't know where, because that Hunter and Ethan were a triplet. They
Right,
had a
right.
triplet sister, and I don't know where the sister Maisie. I don't know if Hunter called her, and that's when she showed up, or how she got involved in it. But her car was one of them, along with the car that Ethan and Hunter shared, that got towed away from the house.
Would you call it like, I mean, if you had friends that you saw that the brother was on the floor and no longer alive, I mean, I don't think that I would,
I
wow, I
would
don't think
probably
I'd
call
call them.
I would call the sibling, but I wouldn't let them go in the house and see their
Right,
sibling like that, but I would call them and be like, "You need to call your family."
right.
You
But
know,
yeah,
but
but letting them in there, that's
yeah,
just
I'd have been like, "No, it's better if you don't go in there," because if you go in, like, if you let a sibling go in there, the natural reaction is for them to run up
to
and grab the
touch.
sibling,
Yeah.
and you don't want that, and that's just a natural reaction. It wouldn't be nothing against
No,
Hunter
no, no,
or
not at all.
Maisie. It would just be a natural reaction, so it would be best not to let them in there because, 1, they don't really need to see
No,
their
that's a terrible
sibling.
thing to have to see. Yeah, especially for a triplet. I was a twin, but my brother died before I was born. my
Oh.
mom lost him and kept me, but I still have that twin thing, you know?
Mhm.
It's a weird feeling, but, I can't imagine being a triplet, and I just can't. Okay, here's my problem. I can't see Hunter being over there and then saying, "Okay, I'm all right with waiting hours to call the police to get any paraphernalia out of here that has to be out of here
Yeah, I don't believe that either.
while my brother is laying there."
Right. I don't I because I always assumed that Hunter was called, like, right before the 911 call was made.
So you think it was
Yeah.
later? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Me
I
too.
think that Hunter was called over there, around I think Hunter was called during the time that they put it out that one of that Ethan had passed out and they couldn't wake him up, so they called Hunter, because thinking maybe Hunter could wake him up, and then when Hunter and the friend got there, that's when they realized that something was up and they needed to call 911.
But Scar,
I
hello,
just
Lady B.
Hi, sweetheart.
I miss you so much.
I miss you
Oh,
too. It's 10 weeks and I'll be back.
No, that's so much. You're gonna have to do something. Yeah, I mean, like a
Well,
little video, Lady B.
let me get used to school. I haven't taken tests since, high school. That's like 30 some odd years ago. Let me get used to being back in school. I'm wanting to do some YouTube stuff too, and I want to talk to you guys, but uh right now I'm just trying to get used to it.
mhm.
So anyway, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's hard to go back to school. I understand. I have to
oh, I
do it.
love it. I love it. I'm having fun, but yeah, I need to kind of adjust a little bit to it. It's fun, but yet if I get anything less than 100, I don't like it. And so, 97 is not good enough for me. My husband's like, "You're ridiculous." But anyway, let's get back to the thing. But I do miss you very much, Liza.
Me too. And I'm happy, Scarlett, that you're okay. I
Oh,
had
thank you.
when you said that, I did have the feeling that because of your age, but I
Mhm.
know how much you have. I don't know, but I can figure out how much you have to work to have so much information every night.
Right.
And I said to
Oh,
myself, she is so exhausted.
oh yeah.
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 I did sleep a lot, so that did help. Um,
Do you mind me asking how old you are?
I'm only 42.
Oh, well, you're a young pup.
She's a baby.
Yeah,
She is.
I turned 42 in October,
October what?
16th.
Oh, my husband's is 14th.
Oh,
I'm
really?
12.
Are
You're
you really,
12?
Liza?
Yep.
Oh, so our birthday's right there together then.
Yeah, Lyra.
Yep.
Yep.
That's why we get along so good, guys.
Okay.
So,
Uh, yes, go
are,
ahead.
are we okay? So,
I do the apology.
let me make sure. Okay, so you think that it was later when they called Hunter over there? Okay, well, I was going to ask you though, with as vicious as this sounds, how could they not see, the red stuff?
That's another thing I didn't understand.
I mean, you would think it would be pretty obvious they're not passed out, right?
Right. Yeah. I've even said that from the beginning, like, why would they call
So have I. That's
friends over because one of the roommates they think is passed out? Did they not see what was all around? Like, there had
how
to have
could they
been.
not? There had to have been. I
Yeah.
mean,
I
because
believe
okay, so the girls upstairs, their faces were fine. These guys, Ethan and Xana, they were not.
not just they
Right.
were.
Huh?
I, well, I don't know. I read in an article that their faces were okay.
Well, the girls
Yeah.
upstairs, but the Ethan
Yeah.
and Xana, especially Xana, I heard was not okay.
No.
There's an article that's out, and oh, I can't remember exactly how it says, but it says that their faces were, um, oh shit, I
Palmated,
can't.
pretty much.
No, this one said
No,
that their it
it was
was,
like a
how did they say?
sculptures and
Yeah,
a
like,
state with the beauty of their years, something like that.
yeah, it was something like that,
What?
that it said
I
that their
thought that's
face
what they
was,
said about the girls upstairs, but not Ethan and Xana. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've been away
No,
from it too long.
this is this is this is a new article.
yeah, this
Oh,
one,
okay.
The beginning of the week, or
the
and
one
it's
that I
very
remember, yes, it said preserved. It's James Warren in chat said it was like their faces were preserved.
Wow.
But the article that I read it in was put out January the 7th, I believe it was. I think it was the 7th.
by Bloom.
Yes.
Yes, 20.
Yeah.
And he supposedly had his information from police.
Mhm.
But what I think is that, and I always thought that, why I don't know, but I think that the doors were locked and the girls couldn't get in.
Oh, to the bedroom?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's been said too that all of
Well,
that.
that could be, but then how did they know somebody was?
Because I'm calling
He
to my
was-
cell
he-
phone and nobody's answering me. Then
Yeah,
I
'cause-
think they are passed out. They took something that was too, I don't know.
But I
And
thought one of them was found out by the door or something.
No,
I don't know. I've heard that well,
everybody was in their rooms.
yeah, it says that
Right.
Okay, so
Xana was on the
Kaylee,
floor.
right, Xana was on the floor. It never said where Ethan was at in the room other than he was in the room with Xana. And then it said that Kaylee and Maddie were both in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
But
And he closed the door for the dog. The dog was in Kaylee's room.
yeah, in her old room.
And these two young ladies didn't even open the door of Kelly's room. If they are looking for somebody in the house, my first friends are not answering me. I go for the next ones.
You're right.
And I try to open every door. If I try
Right.
to open every door, I try to open Kelly's door, and
Mhm.
the dog will get out. But
Right.
then the article says that in the body cam of, I don't remember which police gentleman, they saw that when the officer opened the door, the dog came out. Then I'm thinking these girls tried to open doors, could not open the doors. First thing I think is, we have a
Where's
problem.
the dog? Right.
No, we had a problem. These two took something too harsh. We don't want the police here. I'm going to call Ethan's brother.
Oh, okay.
And then you have the whole fraternity in your house. Oh, come on, my brother is not answering the phone, and everybody's going.
Yeah, I could see that if that's just not the way I interpreted the thing, but it was worded very strangely to me. Was there more
Yes, it's more.
leaked this week that I missed then?
Yeah, the affidavit changed now with the release. Yes, it's changed.
Oh, okay. I'm
it's
sorry.
easier to read, but no, I mean, Lady B, 97 pages.
Wow.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
I'm in
they've
page like
released-
15.
I haven't even started reading on it, but it's where they've unsealed the warrant, the search warrant for his apartment. It's what all they had asked for, like everything in the warrant or whatever. There's like several different court documents that's within that 90 something pages.
Oh, that's the one you said you only got 46 pages. I was trying to figure
Yeah.
out while you were talking. I'm sorry. Normally I'm caught up and know what's going on. I'm sorry that I came on panel a little bit behind.
Oh no, you're fine.
Well, Scarlett,
Uh-huh.
these programs are to help us, exchange everything to figure out what the news are not telling us, and to
Mhm.
cut up.
Right.
That's why we are. I'm here for this. What did
Right.
you hear? Where did you hear that? Do you have
Right.
that document? I want it. Send it to me. I just like to read what's going on. But
Well, you'll have to read it and then tell me, Liza, because I've got enough homework to read right now.
yeah, you don't have time for that.
No, I don't right this minute. But wow, that's like, so do we kind of have a gist of what it's saying then? Or are we just all kind of figuring that out right now?
What the
What the
what is it,
new,
90
what
something
the new,
pages?
yeah. Do we just,
Um, the only thing that I know for a fact that it says, and this is just because I've already read it, is the motion to unseal the search warrant, which all this was done in the state of Washington. In was it Whitman County, I believe is.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the judge there has went in and unsealed the search warrant. It has some redactions in it, the search warrant, but it did unseal it. It did show, it has in the search warrant what they were specifically asking for whenever they served the warrant. Um, I'm trying to think of what was after the search warrant though. There was, like I said, it's several different court documents that
huh?
is in those 90 something pages. I'd only got, like I said, the first 49 pages, and I hadn't even got through those yet because I just got it today. Um,
Okay.
because, well, I think one of my mods has sent it to me maybe like yesterday, but because I didn't read anything
Right,
until
right.
today, I just got to going through it today.
Sure.
And then Sifa sent me the whole 96 pages, and I was like, okay, well, like I don't even know what's past page 49
Right.
yet because I
So
got to
it'll
get through the
take a
first.
while to decipher all
Right.
of that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna read over some of it tonight, and some of it tomorrow night or tomorrow. That way, tomorrow night I can, like, I'll know what it is I'm talking about when
Well,
it comes to all those
there's
court
something
documents.
in the first 2 pages. No, sorry. That's probably page number 9. I'm going to have to look. But it's before page number 15, where in order to search his apartment in Washington, they asked the judge not to take in consideration the DNA that they found in the sheet. Not They are not extracting the DNA as proof that they think he did this, but they don't want that DNA to get thrown out later and then invalidated the search warrant on his apartment.
Who's asking for that?
That was asked for whatever.
Did the defense or prosecution?
The prosecution, yes. The prosecution have to ask for the warrant for his apartment.
Right, but I mean, who's asking for the DNA not to go out? Prosecution or?
The prosecution is asking, gave everything to the judge. I don't know what they gave to the judge. We don't have that. But in what they gave to the judge, they asked the judge not to count that DNA as a point to considering the search warrant. And it's very well done, in my view, because if something happened to that DNA, those DNA is not very...
Right.
Yeah. Then they can keep everything they find in his apartment.
Right.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, wow.
Yeah. That was my first, and then I had to go back and start reading articles of the law and, what is this? Explain this to me, because Idaho law is kind of all kind. It's different. But
Yeah.
it's not. But it was a good move for the prosecutor. I think so. It's a good move. Just be sure, cover your
Oh, yeah,
everything.
definitely. Wow. That's pretty, wow.
Okay.
Amazing.
Oh, 9 millimeter. Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to think of who this was that just sent me this email. Okay, so I got your email. Thank you, honey.
She seems like a very sweet lady.
And I keep forgetting, like, I know what her real name is, but every time I get the email from her, it has her real name and not 9
And it
millimeter.
catches you off guard.
And I have to sit there and think, like, who is this woman? And then I look at the picture and it dawns on me it's her. Hey, Tech
Yeah.
Death, how are you? And Carrie, is Carrie still in here? I know she was in here earlier. I don't know if she still is, but I got her email too. I haven't seen her post in a while. Okay, so mods, if y'all see Carrie in the chat, can y'all grab my attention, please? Okay. Let's see, that explains the 911. Okay, thank you, 9 millimeter.
I went to apologize to the chat that I'm not caught up because I feel bad that I'm not caught up. I didn't realize that what you were talking about earlier was that affidavit that they changed it and that everything. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
Had
and
no
I believe it was James just said in the chat a few minutes ago that in those 90 something pages that the probable cause is in there twice. I believe is what he said.
Oh, I had a terrible day yesterday. I tried, but then another document dropped today, and Sif is trying to figure out, helping me figure out if the document is. He said that it's not. I think that he doesn't believe in the document.
Oh,
I don't,
really?
yeah, I don't believe in the document, but the document, it seems when you read it that he wants bail.
Well,
and I would, yes.
He wants bail?
You're gonna kill me.
Yeah, because they're saying now something about he's supposed to go to court in August. I mean, not August, Lord, April for a bail hearing.
Holy
Yes.
cow.
I
Wow.
don't know how
But
he's
I-
like he
I don't
murdered four
I
have-
mean,
people.
okay. You think, I mean, just because he's asking, of course he's going to ask, but do you think he got bail or you think
No,
in April he's getting bail or?
As of right now, he doesn't have bail. It was either the first time or second time that he went to court in Idaho. The judge said, you are going to be held without bond.
Right.
Now, I don't know if they're going to do a bond hearing. I guess that's what they're going to do in April. I could not imagine a person with 4 first-degree murder charges and then a felony burglary charge getting bond, especially whenever they had to go 2,000 miles away to pick him up.
Right. Flight risk.
Unless they put a ankle bracelet on him. If he's able to make bond, more than likely they'll put an ankle monitor
But
on
what
him.
would that look like? I mean, like he's in a college town. He's in.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm
It's
sure
in the area where all students are to go to classes and stuff himself. So, like, how's that gonna look? That's just.
I would assume because I don't know how the college is handling it, but I would assume that he's done lost his job at the college. He's
Oh
done
well,
lost
yeah.
his housing, and more than likely he's done lost like his college period. Like
But he's still innocent until proven
No, I know,
guilty.
I get that, but
Then
I just.
even just imagine a college place telling, well, yes, you have the little problem with the police, but you cannot come here to teach.
I've been like,
Well,
no, I'm
gonna
sorry. Like you can't even. You're not even welcome on the campus.
well,
Well, yeah,
I'm gonna
but can he?
I take you to court.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean,
Exactly.
he could say, well, you know, if you don't let me work and go to school and I'm innocent, then, you know, you got a huge lawsuit on your head. I mean, just on the unbelievable chance that he's not guilty.
I mean, to us, it's like this
Right.
is, you know, it's not, he could not be near those universities, but the universities nowadays,
They're all politically correct and all of that.
5 years ago, I have a stepson in Penn State, and oh my God, they are so open to everything. Yeah, I don't know.
Karma reflection. Okay, hold on 1 second, honey, and I'll go check it. Okay.
And about this
They are
document,
related.
I'm not sure. I don't have the last page of the document. Then I don't know who signed that. I don't know who entered that. I don't have the date. I'm not sure if it's real or somebody made it up. I have no clue. I cannot verify it. But another channel that I trust took it out.
So are you saying some people don't believe this affidavit is valid?
Well, I don't believe this asking for getting for bond is valid, but I'm not sure. I don't have. It's like I don't have all the pieces. I don't know. It seems like it could be. It could be that somebody just wanted to mess with the internet and took a bond requirement type of document and just changed the name from, I don't know, John Smith to Bryan, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, just disseminate the document without the last pages. Because if you don't have the last pages, you don't know from which office, what judge, a lot.
Oh, wait, when was this? Wait, who just sent this to me? Hold on. Marissa.
See if I have it. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. Marissa, when did this come out? Is this Saturday? No, that's Beach Hazard. Never mind. I'm looking at something
Sifa
wrong, y'all.
said he thinks he found that page he sent, Liza.
Sifa is incredible. He's like,
I know,
FBI
he's like the
and
magic
CIA.
man.
Yes. And wow.
He can do anything.
Okay, so this came out today. So this is what Marissa just sent to me. And let me
read it with your beautiful voice, please.
So it says grand jury indictment could speed up Bryan Kohberger's case. Bryan Kohberger, the 28-year-old criminology student accused of ambushing the 4 University of Idaho students with a knife in November, waived his rights to a speedy probable cause hearing, pushing back his arraignment by more than 6 months. But prosecutors can undercut the procedural maneuver by seeking a grand jury indictment, which would also spare the surviving roommates from having to sit in court across from Kohberger and face cross-examination during the preliminary hearing. So that came out today.
That's not what I have.
Okay, this is, where did this come? This is from Fox 13 Seattle, is the one that put that out. And let me see, I'm gonna have to download it because I was gonna pull it up with the way I have it, but I'm gonna have to download it to my computer so it's not showing anyone's emails or anything like that. Let me catch back up.
I'm just sitting here kind of in shock right now. Wow.
All right, and let's see. Idea One said, "Would you bet $10,000 on his guilt?" I mean, we don't. I mean, do we know for 100% fact that he's guilty? No, we don't.
No.
I mean, I fully believe that the police have got the guy that did this.
I do
But
too.
do I know that 100%? No, I don't know that 100%.
Okay, so like if Now, if DM, what you're saying about her earlier, she sees
Mhm.
3 guys outside, one of which is him,
Mhm.
then he would still, by this account, be guilty.
Wait, say that again?
Okay, so if DM said she looked out the window, she saw 3 men, right?
Mhm.
And one of them was him, then
Right.
and he was the one inside, then he's still guilty with that testimony. It just puts the blame on other people as well, but not the SK and not the like mass, whatevers. So I mean that still makes him guilty of the crime of red rumming.
Right.
Well, if she can say that he was inside after the 2 seconds that he saw his eyebrows,
Right.
and then that she saw him outside with other 2 people, we can establish. So I don't know who's going to be established that very good, but maybe yes, the DNA and some other genetic material that they find from him, or that the shoe print, I don't know, but you can make the yes, unlawful entry, but then she saw another 2 men. Were those men inside too?
Right, because it doesn't really state that
Yeah.
from what I heard, does it?
Then we cannot link him to their deaths.
Right.
We can link him to being inside the house.
Well, yeah, I mean, but if the other 2 weren't in there, then you can link him to that.
Yeah, but she opened and closed that door 3 times.
Just enough, yeah.
All right, can y'all see this on the screen? I think I got
Yeah.
it
Yes,
zoomed
ma'am.
in enough. Okay.
No, it's
So,
great.
all right, so this is
Oh.
what I was reading a second ago that Marissa had sent to me. Oh, I can get it where stuff will quit popping up on there.
Sip is saying, Liza, page 52 is where it starts on what I sent you.
Okay, I'm going to see because I'm always.
Yeah,
I use
just
an
don't
iPad.
want it in front of me either. I mean, well, I'm going to do any good right now
opinion,
anyway.
he was the only one on the scene. Yeah, I just don't know if I believe the whole 3 people either.
I mean, that just doesn't make.
She sees 3 people, but she knows that. Okay, so the one that she's claiming is and this is all alleged because this is basically hearsay, but she says that she sees 3 people out the bedroom window. Well, the only way she can see out in the front from a bedroom window would be on the first floor, because the
Right,
second.
because everything's else in the back,
Right,
inside.
right, and so if she sees 3 people outside through the window, and she says that one of them is a creepy guy, and the creepy guy who she saw in the house, then how come she could only identify one? How come she couldn't tell what the other 2 look like?
Right.
If she knows that the one dude is the one she's seen in the house, why can't she identify the other 2?
Unless she doesn't know who they are and have. Okay, so this is all speculating, though, that this mother said that he had been to the house, that they do have parties with people in their late 20s,
20,
early 30s.
30, yes, who, how she put it, were not, who did she say who were too old to be hanging around with college students, or who were not college students themselves, or something like
Yeah,
that?
I think she said even that one, they were saying that he was living there with the college students and he wasn't even a student, right? There was not Bryan, but another
Oh,
person
that
living with
was
a student,
I
and he
think she
wasn't a
was
student.
I think she was talking about the guy who was taken out by SWAT. What was his name? Brent, shit, I can't remember, but anyway, he was the one that was killed over by the WSU college What
Oh,
was
is
it?
that the one that
I think
the
I think
shooting
that's
one?
who yeah, I think that's who she was talking about with
Oh,
that he was living 2 of his roommates were college students, but he wasn't a college student.
so they were
Yeah,
wondering. Okay,
yeah.
so but then I remember one of the fraternity guys said I can't, I think he was blonde headed and he had a white like hoodie thingy on, and he was saying that yeah, they had parties, but that man Bryan was too old to come to these parties. They wouldn't have them there. So where's the truth?
I don't know. That's why I think a lot of it's just hearsay. I mean,
Yeah,
some of it that she's telling could be the truth, and then some of it could just be that she's added in or hearsay.
right. So I mean, because I remember very. You guys in chat, do you remember that guy that was in the fraternity that said yeah they had parties, that was a party house and all of that, but then there's no way that they would have older people there that age because they wouldn't fit in or whatever. I'm positive
But
I saw that
but then
somewhere. He
we
was
we
being interviewed.
then we have something strange here because we have Chef DC saying that he went to that place. And
Right,
he's an older guy.
yes, he wandered into one of their house parties. Well,
Uh,
he didn't say it was their house. His words was, "I just happened to wander into one of my neighbor's house parties." And I remember speaking with Ethan, Xana, and I believe it was Kaylee. He never mentioned Maddie, but he followed Maddie on social media.
and
Hmm.
an older guy because he's
Mhm.
30,
Yeah, he is
what,
older.
3,
Yeah.
2, something
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Older than the
Yeah.
suspect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this is the same guy that started all the BS at the beginning of this, with his interviews and 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah,
I,
he was just
He was
I,
really not that
I
credible.
I still call him the creepy neighbor.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I could see him doing that, but it's like, okay, you already put yourself in the not so trustworthy category here to but now we're supposed to believe that. But I
Right.
mean, I actually do believe that. But that doesn't say how long he stayed, though. I mean, he just might have wandered in. The guys are saying, get out. But
Yeah,
I've
and
never
Miss
been in. I've never been in a sorority, and I've unfortunately never gotten to go to college, so I don't know anything about Greek life. So I'm not the best one to say anything about it.
Well,
see,
it's not like the big thing. It's just they try to get the kids to get used to rules, and that way when they get out of school they have a networking. Most of them, they are getting out, they have a job.
mhm.
Right.
And yes, and it's it depends. Every fraternity is different, and they it's not as bad as people hear in the movies.
Oh,
I think that my second boyfriend was in a fraternity. He had a very good personality. Then he never got any problems with anybody. But they used to do crazy stuff because they were kids.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
But
that's the
not,
time they're supposed to do it, right?
I mean, not as crazy as putting dead animals in other fraternities
Yeah,
or sororities. No, they because then you have the risk if they throw you out of the fraternity, it looks bad for you. It's like, oh, that's a guy that was too. got himself thrown out of that fraternity. It in the university circles, people remember a lot.
Oh, Crime Crazy saying back on topic, please.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm crazy.
9mm, she was saying if we wanted to know about what do you want to know about Greek life, she's still active in her sorority.
I'm just trying to catch up in chat real quick.
Yeah. Everybody's talking about potato chips. They're making me hungry.
Let's see.
This is not very popular, but it's the subject. Last December, the state of Idaho had to put somebody to that DP, but they couldn't.
Yeah, because they can't get the
yes
medication,
and they have a law. The FDA has a law that no doctor can do that. Then
what do you mean?
Because those medications that medications have to be used to be measured and applied by a professional in medicine. A guard cannot do that. If they have it bad, the point of the death penalty in that way is minimal suffering for the subject. And if you get it wrong, and we have it get it wrong many times before,
I get that, but I mean they can't get the
they cannot get
the stuff they need to do it.
They cannot get the chemicals, and they cannot get anybody.
Is that the only way they have of doing it?
Well, Utah have the older way, the military way.
The firing, yeah.
Yes. And Idaho say, okay, we're going to do that. But they didn't do it with the guy that was supposed to go through it last December.
Right. And he's still there.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what to do about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that's why I think if they want to win this case, it's better to go for life in prison.
Well, yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, but even if
in the worst hole they can find.
Even if they don't have the stuff now, that doesn't mean by the time he's done with all these appeals and all of these things that they wouldn't be able to get it then. I mean,
y'all were
that's
talking
gonna
about
be years from now.
You're talking about the medicine to
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that before too, that
there's a guy still there.
That they don't have the medicine because it's like 3 different medicines that they have to have. One puts you to sleep, one stops the heart, one stops the breathing.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they can't get a hold of it for whatever reason, which I think is ridiculous.
The companies that produce the medications don't want to give it to them.
Oh, are they
for that reason? Because it's not
because of the
manufacturing. A lot of people do not agree.
And it's their company. Yeah, okay, I see.
That's what Vapor said. The states that use lethal injection are having problems getting 1 of 3 of the drugs to use in the lethal injections because of the manufacturing having different political views. So that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense in this day and age.
Right. I mean, can they find another company?
Can they find a different way to do it? I mean,
Scarlett, I'm figuring out more and more why somebody gave you that name. I mean, yes, that's something like that. Scarlett will say, "We'll just get another company."
Yeah, find another company. I mean,
it's another day.
I mean, that's like the logical thing. Okay, well, I need this medicine, but this company doesn't want to give it to me, so I'll just go find somebody else who will.
Well, my thing
You
is,
know,
okay, this company won't give me the medicine, so we have another way that's on the books that's, pretty surefire way to do it, just so to speak.
so Vapor is saying now that he said, I do believe that a drug company has now made a drug. Wait, where did it go? That only uses one drug to do all of it. So instead of
I'm
needing the
saying,
three
I mean,
drugs, they would just need the
okay,
one to do it.
if they don't have that, then I don't know why they can't fall back on the military way.
Loaded hot. Oh, I cannot see this. Make the Scarlet.
Sodium thiopental. Wait,
Sodium thiopental,
yes, is a drug that they need.
thiopental.
See, loaded hot. Why you got to give me these big words? And Texas doesn't seem to have a problem getting the drugs.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
It must just be the political views of someone maybe in that state, or is it with? Because if Texas can get it, why wouldn't Idaho be able to?
Right.
That will be a very good thing to try to figure out.
Well, because Texas, it's Texas.
I mean, I understand
They
what
would go back to the military way if they had to.
Texas would just find another company to get it from.
Yeah, and they'd be
I
going, we
Texas
don't care,
will-
just
if
put him
Texas
in front of
will-
the wall.
Yeah,
I mean-
if Texas will have to take the guy and put it in the Rio Bravo or Rio
Mhm.
Grande and
Exactly.
say, "Whoops,"
Oh, well.
Oh well.
Okay, so he's saying no, that it's the drug manufacturers. Well, why is Texas not? Maybe Idaho needs to get with Texas and find
Well,
out what companies they're getting it from.
The amazing tip says, Mrs. Scarlett.
Texas didn't have a problem getting the meds. Is that the one you're talking about, or did I miss another?
Yes, Texas did have.
Oh, did have. I read that all wrong. So Texas did have problems getting. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But they got it. I mean, that's what I had heard earlier on in this case, too, was exactly that.
Okay. And Ivory, that could be that could be it too. Maybe Texas has a huge stockpile. I don't.
Everybody agrees, though, that Texas would get it done one way or the other.
Yes.
They're like,
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. This is Texas.
Yeah. So
I don't.
it's
Wow.
because they are having botch.
Yeah, I've seen that 9mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like her name. 9mm enlisted.
Yeah,
Cool.
I like it too.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm answering a text back real quick, y'all. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and some state, I think I talked about this with you, Lady B. If I'm the parent of one of those children, probably, yeah, more than 75% probably, I'm not that good. I will want the death penalty. But if it's too difficult, if they find a hole somewhere that, like that prison that
right.
They have in Nevada, what is called Apex. It has an X number.
Yeah, the one that's like max that you
It's
never
in Nevada?
see the light of day.
Yes.
Or is that in
It
Nevada?
looks horrible. I saw
Well, I got a suggestion. I don't know how many parents would agree with this, but if that was my child, how about letting the parent handle it themselves if the parent wanted to do that?
Well, I don't really have a problem with that. But the only thing is that then that person might not be able to live with that for the rest of their life. I mean, depending on how they do
Mm,
it. But I'm kind of like, okay,
If
this
it
is
was
how I am. I'm sorry. I hope I don't
if
upset
it was my
anybody
child,
in chat.
I wouldn't think twice about it if it
No,
was
I
mine.
wouldn't either. It This is how I feel about it. I think the same thing should be done to the person that they did to the victims, because the victims had to suffer. But the problem is, you can't do that, because anybody that could do something like that would be mentally unstable anyway, as far as like, in their, I mean, huh.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it would for some people, it would mess them up mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I I
The
just
name of the prison is ADX Florence. It's in
Yeah.
Colorado. I was totally wrong.
Oh, okay.
And I
It's
mean, that one is
hell.
like, you go in there, you never see the light of day ever again.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like Supermax. Who's
Oh,
in there?
wow.
Is that
El
drug
Chapo.
cartel guy,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's right. I know who
the
you're
one
talking
that
about.
kept,
Yeah.
yeah,
He kept escaping and
yeah,
all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right,
If you go to the internet, or I don't know, it was L&E. I don't remember, but I saw an hour and a half of how people live there. No, thank you very much. I will go for the lethal injection. 80 years like that? No.
yeah, that's true.
Hey,
But
Mickey, how are you?
Oh,
9
J Buck
millimeter. I
lives
didn't
right by
get
that place. Wow.
9 millimeter. I didn't get an email from you. I got the one about the 911 call, but did you send me another one? Okay. And Jalek says he lives right by that place. I guess
Yeah,
I'm
that's
at
what I
the
saw.
prison. Oh, well.
it's a
Wow.
scary place.
Yeah, it's all underground. I wouldn't, yeah.
See, now y'all got
Yeah,
me curious. I'm gonna have to look the place up.
yeah,
It's
Epstein
bad.
should have been there. You're absolutely right on that. I didn't catch who said it on that. I can't read all of them until they get in the black up there.
Idea, I agree with you. Idea one, I agree with you, but then I think, what if I'm the mother of one of those kids?
Well, okay, wait a minute, idea one. Okay, so DP is cruel and unusual. I think what this person, if they actually are found guilty, I mean, you want to talk cruel and yeah, no, I don't
I
have a
mean,
problem with that. That's like,
oh, don't even get me started because what this dude did to these 4 kids, no. He needs a
yeah,
death penalty. I'm sorry.
whomever did this to him, I mean, that's cruel and unusual.
Right.
And
And
that's
don't get me
just,
wrong, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I know that not
yes,
everybody
absolutely.
is, not everybody's for the death penalty, and that's fine. I respect
Actually, I don't
everyone.
agree. I don't agree with DP, but my problem is that I don't agree with DP. I prefer, you have to pay 11 cents of my taxes every day to get them life in prison. I don't care.
Mhm.
Okay? But then the question is, what about if it's your child?
Right.
That's what I said a
Then,
minute ago. If it was my child, I wouldn't think twice
I wouldn't
about
either.
I wouldn't think twice about doing what needed to be done to
Right.
send them to hell.
Me either.
I wouldn't. It wouldn't
but
bother me because I know that I would be getting justice for my child. I No. But that's me. That's not everybody would be able to, um, handle that, and that's understandable too. But
But I mean, I would have to know for 100% certainty. That's why we have all of these, all of these. Oh, it just went right out of my head. when all of these appeals and all of this stuff to go through. And I know that there's innocent people. I know that there's framing at times, and I get all of that. But if you know 100% for sure
Right.
that this person did that, and they did this horrible, heinous, horrific attack on these kids,
Yep.
that's where my eye for an eye definitely comes in, because we don't need that kind of person that could maybe, who knows, someday get out by some ungodly politically correct thing or something.
Mm-hmm. Right. 6 months live. Okay, I'm just catching up real quick in chat. Okay, and animal news. Yeah, that's only rapid dangerous. Okay, I think I'm caught up on everybody.
And I totally agree with you guys. I mean, I have no problem. I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I get all
Right.
of that, and I'm not in any way coming at you, Idea One, at all. I'm not, or anybody else. I'm just saying, for me, that's where
Yeah, because
I guess I don't understand the cruel and unusual when it's been such a heinous thing that happened. To me, it's like cruel and unusual has nothing to do with how they treated those victims. And so I just don't see it the same way. But I respect everybody's opinion. I just like a nice, healthy debate.
Yes, because we have to make sure that he is, and it as a society we cannot go back to the Wild West.
No, not at all.
Yeah, we cannot. But it's when you see it as a parent, it's very difficult. And I have to take my hat to the parents of what was their name? The
Kaylee?
lady, the lady and the two kids, well, three kids, that were killed by the husband.
that was recently killed. The lady that
It was like 5
from
years ago.
oh
She was,
you're talking about Watts?
yeah. The
Oh,
parents asked the jury and the judge to give him life. I I was like, oh my God, they are better than a lot better than I
so
am.
some people think life in prison is worse than DP. They get to suffer longer. So some people see that as more of a punishment than the DP.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wouldn't like I said.
I'm not saying that that's how they were thinking, because I don't believe that. I believe they were very forgiving people, but
Yeah,
some
yes.
people have
I
said that was
I mean, that was incredibly brave and honest, and I don't so much.
yeah, because I
Probably,
don't think I could have done that.
yeah. I take my hat off those. Mm-mm. But
But here's the thing, and I'm just going to throw this in real quick. When it comes to forgiveness, forgiving somebody has nothing to do with forgiving them. It has everything to do with yourself. When you
right.
forgive somebody, you're not carrying that weight anymore. So forgiveness is for you, not the other person, because it helps your heart.
Oh, wait, let's see, Lost. You remember the manager at Gabby Bryan's restaurant did the same thing. She changed the story. Employees said this manager at Greek said Bryan was never there. I say, how does she know? Oh, millennials, you're talking about the restaurant in oh, was it the one in Moab? Is that the one you're talking about with Gabby and Bryan? Let's see. Some people get institutionalized and can't make it out in the real world. I can't be that bad in there.
I know a
Okay,
couple
yeah.
people like that myself that get out and they go do something to go right back in.
Yeah. Mary Piglet. That's, yes, the amazing tip. That was it. Yeah, she ended up saying, like changing the story up from what with Gabby and Bryan than what uh was she the hostess? The girl that was saying it, that came out with the story. I want to say she was what they call an hostess in the restaurant.
I didn't follow that one. It was before my time in true crime.
Yeah, this was in 2021. I was about to say last year, but so a little over about a year and a half now. Okay, Mad Great manager said Bryan was never there, but she may have been off work. Bryan may have paid cash. I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't know where People Magazine is getting their information from. Um, they're the ones, if I remember correctly, that came out first and said that he was uh, sending messages to him or to one of the girls. They never came out and said, "Hey, guilty till proven innocent. How are you?" They never came out and said which girl it was, but that he had, how they said it, slid into her DMs and had sent her messages saying, "Hey, how are you?" And she never replied. And then so he just kept on going with it. I don't know where they're getting that information from. Um, I don't know if, like if one of the victims, one of their family members, and I'm just going to use Kaylee as an example because, her sister was able to get into um, her phone records and stuff. I don't know if one of the victim's family members was able to get into the phone records and seen that, and that's where they're getting their information from or what. I don't know. But, I'm not going to say it's true or it's not true. I know people saying it is true, or People Magazine, and then the Magric is saying that it's not true. So I don't know.
If you are a vegetarian, it
Mhm.
doesn't make any sense to go to a Greek restaurant. I mean, my family is Greek. They don't use different utensils to cook meat and cook other stuff. It's easier to go to a kosher restaurant.
Mhm.
They do, by their religious law, have different utensils to cut everything.
Right.
You have more chance to a vegetarian meal in a kosher restaurant than in a Greek restaurant, and he knew that.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
If I want a nice vegetarian, the only meal I always, this is off topic, sorry, chat. If you want to eat fresh stuff and something that nobody touched it, and ask for kosher when you go in a plane. They have to pay a lot of money to be kosher certified. Everything is sealed and double sealed.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't kosher have like a symbol on it or something like that?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
totally different, and it's nobody touched it. It comes differently. It has double standards.
And you think he would have known this?
Of course, a vegetarian for so long. Yes. If we believe the article, you heard what happened with, oh my God. I'm like an old lady. Something happened with a YouTube channel and a big newspaper, Scarlet. Did you hear that one?
Wait,
No.
there was a what now in a newspaper?
A big newspaper and a YouTube channel.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Okay, I'm not gonna say the name of the YouTube channel because I don't remember it well, but I'll go there often. They were the ones who got the forums that we believe was 16-year-old suspect talking about snow vision. And a big newspaper came out saying that they found it.
Oh.
And now, like 3 days ago, everybody and their mother in big media was talking about snow vision. Oh, well, I said it. The newspaper did it, and oh my God, the reporter found what this guy was talking about in 2009, and it was not them. It was a YouTube channel.
Right, right.
Oh, wow.
And the YouTube channel called and sent mail and blah 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 to the big corporation, and they haven't answered.
Well, I'm not surprised by that.
That bothers me because they scream so much about copyright, and what about them?
Right.
Honestly, I'd never even heard of snow vision until this case.
Yeah, I hadn't either.
I knew a little bit, but I didn't know that was that bad. And
I had no idea what it even was or entailed or anything until I started reading about it.
oh, damn.
Okay, I'm just catching.
Yeah, that the other thing was Papa Rogers.
Karma, you have snow vision?
Where's Grandma? Oh my God.
Oh, I can't remember the actual definition for it, Ray, but they say that your vision looks like, you know how like if you see snow on TV, how like the whole screen will be what we used to call when we were little, like snowy or whatever. They're saying that that's what Bryan has, and it's causes migraines or comes along with migraines. I have migraines. I've never had it. I'd never even heard of it. But apparently it impairs his vision to the point that he's not even able to drive a vehicle at times, which I thought might have been the reason.
Butterfly has it too.
Yes, I thought about that
It was
too.
migraines. Okay.
Scarlett. That was the reason that the father was with him.
Right. That's what I thought. Well, maybe that's the reason why the dad flew out there and then drove back with him.
Well, yeah, that was planned though before school even started, is what I understood.
That's what they're saying, and I thought maybe that's the reason. Maybe because it was said that Bryan doesn't like flying, so I thought, well, maybe if he doesn't like flying, then maybe that's the reason why the dad flew out there, was to drive back with him in case this whole visual snow thing kicked in or he got a migraine or whatever and he wasn't able to drive. The dad could take over and, drive as well. But then I thought, well, is Bryan going to drive? Is him and the dad going to drive back from Pennsylvania back to Washington and then the dad fly home? Like how are they going to do that?
Yeah, I wonder. Though, I mean, it also, I think it was kind of also, I mean, I believe it was that. I totally agree with that. But I think, too, I mean, it was just a way of being able to guys to spend time together and, do guy things on a trip.
Let's see. Amy M says that she's an Orion and she's never heard of snow vision.
She never heard of snow.
Karma, well, I look at it and it's in the rare disease American blah, blah, blah. And it's so rare that when that happens, you don't have enough funds to study the disease because, Big Pharma wants to make money. And it's those kind of diseases that, like, I have fibromyalgia. My grandmother had fibromyalgia. When my grandmother she had to get through the pain, and everybody thought that she was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hear that.
60 years later, now people with fibromyalgia have disability.
Yeah, it's like
I'm not on
super
disability.
common.
I'm not in
Fibro
disability, but you know
Yeah.
that thing. It's just when it's not that many people in the population, you don't know. And
Right. And there may be more people that have it and they haven't been diagnosed with it because they haven't been able to study it properly. That's what happened with fibromyalgia and Lyme disease. Is there was finally enough people with all the same symptoms.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
I've never been sure on. Okay, does this snow blind or snow vision thing? Does it also? I mean, I've heard of snow blind. Is that the same thing?
Karma Reflection has some answer for us because she has it.
Okay, so is
Okay, so no, snow blindness is what you get like
if you're
whenever
driving in the snow,
snow,
right?
right? Because it's so bright whenever the sun hits it. But snow vision is like, you know how on your TV when it's all black and white fuzzy looking
Right, yeah.
snow, that's what you see whenever you have snow vision.
Okay,
It
so this here, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just
No, you're fine. Go
my
ahead.
mind was going. So I have a question because I've never heard this cleared up or not. And there's some people in here that say they have it, so I'd like to ask them. Because at one point I heard that it can also cause hallucinations of some sort.
Maybe Scarlett wants to read what Karma Reflection says because she has it.
Okay. Let me find her comment real quick.
Visual snow is
She has a beautiful picture.
Whoa, hold on.
Okay, she said it's diagnosed as static vision. Karma
A little
reflection.
before that.
I think White Widow put it. If you scroll up, I think she put the definition. I only caught part of it. Static vision.
So usually, oh wait, okay, so visual snow is a form of visual hallucination that is characterized by the perception of a small bilateral and simultaneous, a diffuse, a mobile. She had to put these big words in here for me tonight. It's basically dots. That's
Right.
all you see is
Yeah.
dots, and it's usually throughout the entire vision field, but it can be partial, and it is present in all conditions of elimination, even with the eyes closed.
Ooh,
Right. Yeah,
that's
because
horrible.
I remember that. But then they were saying that
She cannot drive in the dark at all.
Oh, wow. Karma reflection, do you wanna come up on panel
that would be
and
awesome. Because I
explain
would
it?
please.
Let me grab a link. I've had tinnitus for 12 years, and they see never
Really, I
realized it was.
didn't know that either, Karma. Because I have tinnitus.
Let me grab a
Oh my
link.
God, Lady B.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like annoying.
What I've read in the internet, and I went to a paid, I don't know. Anyway, a scientific magazine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. Probably I'm not strong enough, but how you make it, because this I read that if you are drinking a cup of coffee and somebody takes suddenly the cup of coffee, your brain still register the cup of coffee in the table in your peripheral vision.
Huh.
Yes. Then how this man went through psychology masters with good grades, with all, and to PhD with all that problems. I mean, migraines, not able to see correctly, and nobody knew.
Well, and too, some people might think that's just how, okay, migraines and problem with mind, hallucination for me, sometimes it's like static from an old TV. I can't drive and I have visual snow. It sucks. So, because Sinful Butterfly has it too. Was Karma gonna come up, or did she like?
No, she says she doesn't have a mic.
Oh, I just use my phone. I don't have a mic. I just use what's on my phone. I don't have earbuds. I have nothing in.
Okay, and I missed 9mm's comment real quick. She said, I have to tell you, I got approved for the newest med for lupus and start on it on the 6th. 9mm, that is awesome.
That's
'Cause I
one I
know
don't have. Thank goodness. I'll pray for you. My heart goes out to you. That's
Yeah, she was telling me about a week ago some things that the lupus was causing her to have problems with it and all that. So that is awesome to hear about the new medicine. Hopefully, prayers that it works for you.
I was telling Liza that I was in a study for CDC for 5 years before they knew what fibromyalgia was. And, I mean, being in a study like that for 5 years, it really makes you realize how many people are having it with all of these things. I mean, my heart was just breaking. And back then, I would tell somebody I have fibromyalgia, and they had no clue at all what I was talking about. And they thought you were just crazy and,
Yeah. I mean,
whiny or
it's a common thing now.
hypochondriac, and maybe that's what this is. Maybe, maybe more people have it than what we realize. And it's just now coming to the forefront because maybe it's just now really, yeah, I have Lyme too. And that's no fun either, especially the
Jessica de
children.
Umo has it too. No, fibromyalgia is not fun. But this what,
anyway,
5% of the population have it, something like that.
Now everybody almost has some form of it or another. But my point was maybe they're getting to the point this is coming to the forefront more because maybe more people are coming with it. I mean, there might be some people that thought it was normal to see like that, because if you never, what I'm
Never
saying?
heard of it or nobody else ever talked about it, then
Right.
Yeah,
yeah.
but he knew that was not normal. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Oh
read.
yeah, he was posting about it back when he was a teenager. Yeah.
But he thought that it was something wrong with his eyes. He never, what I read and what I understood, and maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a psychologist. Just took like 3 or 4 classes to get my degree in all
You are so
stuff.
smart, Liza. I tell you.
I know I'm not smart. I have no clue. I just think. I really have no clue. But the feeling I have is that he didn't want to accept there was something wrong in his brain.
Right. Yeah.
Then that's why he went for vegetables, diets, drugs.
Trying to self-medicate it to make it better.
Yes,
well, yeah, because he
Yeah.
was thinking it was toxins in his body that was causing it all.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, makes sense because we live in an extremely toxic environment. That's why we have so many diseases and stuff nowadays too. It's because everything we touch and eat and everything is just toxic. I know, Liza, she is brilliant, isn't she, Bee Survivor? See, Bee Survivor, she says the same thing I do. You are wonderfully smart. I wish I had your brain.
I'm not. I assure you, you don't know how many messes I have made.
Yeah, but that's how we learn, right? So, okay, we probably should get back on subject, right? I think I veered off enough.
I'm just catching up real quick. I just seen a comment and now I can't find it now.
We get back to topic, please. Yes.
Where did it go? Okay, so Mickey is saying, well, he thought the toxins were affecting his brain. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, that could have been, like y'all were saying, the reason why he went,
vegan. Yeah, that's
changed his diet and, yeah, and all that. But
I
I
love
mean,
you too, 9mm. You're
I don't know. I mean, I wonder, like, we know he talked about it when he was 16, but how often has he had it since then?
It is. It's
You
not
know, the
curable.
visual.
That doesn't go away.
but is it it doesn't sound like it's constant though. It sounds like it's on and off, right?
I'm sure it's constant. For what I've read,
So
Okay, guys,
he sees that
all
constantly?
the time?
yes.
Oh, dang.
Oh, you
I'm
guys
gonna have
tell
to
us.
I'm gonna have to read up on it because I like I said, I had never even heard of it until this was like his Tappa Talk account was brought out where he
Hmm.
was talking about this at. Um, and I've read very little about it, but I need to read up on it because I thought it was just a thing that like you get a
Yeah,
migraine.
Disney. Yeah, Disney. I don't know why they call it a snow vision. I actually like a snow, and what I read was, oh my god, how you survive with this?
Well, okay, so you guys in chat, Karma and Social Butterfly, do you guys have it all the time, or is this something that comes and goes only when you get migraines?
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was like, when you start getting like whenever for people who have migraines and you get the
Yeah,
like
I've had.
like if I start seeing blue,
Yeah,
like blue dots, I know I'm about to get a migraine.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Mine was
s-
black, but yeah.
but so I'm wondering if so Karma Reflection says she sees it all the time. So it's a constant thing then.
So
Yeah,
how? Okay, so if
it's
he sees
but
this all the time, how is he driving in the daytime?
well, it's
Dude,
different. I what I read is like it's different. It's like with fibro. It's you have different categories. You have people that have more, people that have some
intensity.
symptoms. Yes. Do you have those people that have other symptoms? It differs, but the fact that the problem is in the brain, it's
Just
for
a visual
everybody.
migraine and misconception of migraine that it is a bad headache, but the headache is just a symptom of migraine. What?
Let's see.
I must have read
Phones.
that one.
Okay,
But
Karma says
then
she has to use
again,
blue screens for phones, PCs, sunglasses. I've
Right.
seen a lot of people that use it
Yeah.
the blue screen, but it takes something out of the screen or whatever.
And there's a
Uh,
lot of people that are wearing those blue glasses
yeah,
nowadays. Those,
that's what 9mm just said to me. She said, "Yeah, y'all need to get blue light blocking glasses and adjust your screen settings on your computers and phones." Actually, my son had my computer set like that, where I think it takes the blue out of the screen or something like that, and it didn't look normal, so I made him turn it back. But I do need to get that because I know that there's glasses that you can wear, like you wear them before you go to bed, and it's supposed to
yeah,
help you
those are
sleep
really
better.
those are becoming extremely popular right
Yeah,
now.
it is.
I use those glasses because it got I never get a migraine. Things God, something I never get, and
Mhm.
those glasses are very good.
And do you wear them just, like, a couple of hours before you go to bed?
Oh, I wear them
Blue
every
block.
time that I'm reading. I wear every day. I'm reading every day, all day mostly. If
Well,
I'm
I
not,
was kind of lucky. I don't get migraines very often anymore, knock on marble, but but
Migraines for the
I used to get them all the time, and mine was hormonal. So
Mhm.
I had a
Concrete Angel, have a
hysterectomy.
good night.
I had a hysterectomy when I was 30, so that kind of helped that. But I just okay, so well, I'm finding this visual snow very
I'm gonna have
well,
to read more
intriguing.
on it
but if
because
we
Yeah.
go back, okay, let's say that he said that well, okay, it sounded like him to me, but who the heck knows? But the judge asked him if he had some health problems,
Yes.
and he said
Mhm.
no.
Yeah.
Then, if the defense is going to try to use it, I don't know how they're going to introduce it to it.
So, I'm for sure gonna have to read up on this visual snow thing now.
Yeah, I used
It's got
Darkness
me
too.
intrigued because I mean, like when they were mentioning the blue blocker glasses, like there's nothing that helps. And for people in the chat who has this, like there's nothing that helps your vision at all. Like glasses doesn't make it or help you to be able to see better.
What is that called when you're older and you like get the black spots, like is it myop?
Cataracts.
No, it's like myopathy or something. It's like these black dots right in the center of your vision where it's like blank. Is that what is that?
Oh, I have no idea.
They talk about it on TV from time to time on commercials. But it's like, okay, so I don't know if you have to be older, but it's usually older that I hear about it where they get like this black circle right in the middle of their eye and they can't see anything there, but they can see anything around the outside of that, which I don't get that either. I'm like, how do you see anything if the center of your vision is gone? I'm
Right.
wondering if maybe if it's kind of like that kind of thing, a bit different, but no, it's not glaucoma. It's called yeah,
Macular
macular
degeneration.
degeneration. That's it.
Yeah, but that comes from the eye.
Right.
The,
No,
the
I
problem
know.
is in the eye, not in the brain.
Well,
Right.
Simple
No.
Butterfly is saying she wears progressive lenses and don't help, but she can't see anything without them. So
Wow.
that is
Wow.
oh
I'm
my
sorry.
gosh. Yes, because I can't imagine. Like I have vision problems. I have to wear glasses, but I can't imagine someone who sees something like that all the time and they don't get a clear visual of what they're looking at because they're always seeing spots. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Yeah,
that.
I know. I can't
Oh my
comprehend it.
gosh.
I can't comprehend
I
the masculine degeneration thing either. I'm like, I guess you kind of just get used to thing. That's an
right.
Well, it's
wow.
like us. We get used to the pain and we
But you
go
just
up.
push through it, yeah, and you gotta
Yeah.
live or
Okay,
lay down and die.
Keister Bunny says, I have visual snow from a condition called IIH or photumor cerebri. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. So yeah, Keister Bunny says she has it as well. I can't, y'all. I feel
I can't
horrible for
either. I
people.
don't know how you function. I don't know how you like watch TV or read or computer or
That's
it's
like
not,
people who are colorblind. You know, I can't
yeah.
imagine somebody always going with never being able to see color.
Yeah, I
Like, that's
can't.
just 9
My
millimeter, you have a
brother-in-law's
good night, honey.
my brother-in-law's colorblind too, and he's tried to explain it. I just can't
Yeah.
wrap my head around it.
I hate that though for people who, like, when they're looking at stuff, that's what they see.
Yeah, that would be bad. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to focus on this so much, guys, but it's just kind of intriguing. We haven't really talked about it that much, or at least I haven't heard it talked about. Just like little blips here and there, but nothing like
Mm,
in
yeah.
depth.
I'm gonna for sure have to read into it because, like I said, I've never heard of it until this case, and then I've only read just, like, trying to understand what it is, but I've never went into it fully, like, reading into it or whatever, so I'm gonna have
Right.
to because I didn't even, like there's people in my chat who have it,
Yeah, I'm gonna
so
have to
it's
I'm
like,
definitely
that
gonna
Yeah,
is
have to
it,
look
it,
it
it,
up.
it gets home.
right.
Mm.
It's I would have never if it this would have never been brought up in this case, I would have never known about people in the chat having it or what they're going through, so
And there's
that's
quite a few of them too. I mean, okay, they
right.
say it's rare, but we've got what, at least 3 in
3.
chat?
Mhm. Yeah. Let's see. Karma said, I don't think that there were any studies on it when he was 17. So
Yes, that's
when,
true.
so like, when did they start? I don't know.
Well,
I'm gonna have
that's
to
what
read
I'm
into it
wondering if it's
because
maybe
that's
a newer way of calling it, like maybe we had called it something else back in the day,
Well,
before they really put a name to it.
no, the problem is that when you read what he wrote about it and how he felt, the doctors will tell him that it was a migraine and gave him pills for it.
Mhm.
Uh, Three different, I don't remember the names, I'm sorry. But he said in one of, I felt so bad. I'm not saying, I felt so bad for the 16-year-old that this
Yeah,
happened to.
right. I know what you
Okay.
mean. Yeah.
Um, that like it was just a migraine and he was complaining too much or
Right.
some, and it,
Psychedelic stimulation for
two
what?
times he took too much of the medication and he almost off himself, and he talks about that, and he said that he never want to do that again.
Okay, but so if
And I'm like,
so if he
wow.
doesn't want to do that again, but then he went on heroin, and
Well,
now they're saying he's on Coca-Cola. Oh, I already said the bad word. I'm sorry. So if he was on H, he didn't like the way that medicine affected him, but then he went on H, and now he's supposedly on C. It's like,
I don't think he's on C.
Shoot.
I mean, and oh, that's another thing I was going to ask earlier. That's what it was. Okay, so I know this is a party house, but it sounds like they're almost trying, that lady Kim is trying to make it sound like these girls are, dealers or something. And she's the only one I've ever heard say anything like that.
It definitely sounds to me worrisome. Yes. But we don't, other than she have, I don't know. I
mean,
have
because
no clue.
earlier it was like, they're, well, I forget who it was. Somebody said, that so it took them 4 hours to clean up all the stuff they had there that they shouldn't have. And wait a minute, did they like work around the people that were no longer with us, or I don't, or did they leave the stuff that shouldn't be there in their rooms if there was like so much there? You understand what I'm saying? It's like, okay, if they were that much into it where it took 4 hours to clean up all this stuff and get it out of there,
I
I
think it's
mean,
more to it than just drugs, though. Like, were they getting the drugs out of the house and then trying to get their story straight?
huh?
Because
This,
But
I mean,
can you
wow.
imagine? Okay, can you imagine Hunter's being there and
yeah, I
they're
don't think he
trying to
was
get their
there.
story straight?
I think he came after the fact. I think he came after all of that, like, right before the 911 call was made. I think he was called strictly because they were saying that Ethan was passed out and they couldn't wake him up, so they called a hunter thinking that Hunter would be able to wake him up.
Boy, I tell you what, I sure hope that they televise this because there's so many people interested in it. And I mean, this is like something we really,
Well, I will say this real quick. I don't remember if I mentioned this the other night, but there are some people who are extremely close to this case that is pushing for the courts to allow cameras during the trial so we can all watch it.
I mean, I think we should. I think we should be able to. Okay,
Yeah,
because I mean, if we live there, right, it's our right to be able to go into a courtroom and sit there and watch a trial. It is our
exactly.
constitutional right. So if it's our constitutional right to do that, it should be our constitutional right for those that of us that want to see it to be able to watch it on television.
Oh, Vapor, that is true. Okay, so Vapor said that his before and after pictures from being fat to thin reminds him of the actor Jonah Hill. He played in oh, what was
I don't
he always plays
remember.
in a lot of movies with Seth Rogen.
Yeah, Pineapple Express.
Yes, Pineapple Express, and then when he lost the weight, he played in 21 Jump Street
Yeah.
with Channing Tatum. And yeah, he literally was it's almost like night and day difference, honestly. I don't think I've ever watched Superbad.
No,
Have I watched Superbad?
I know
But
who you're talking about, but I've never watched any of them.
yeah, he was when he played in Pineapple Express, he was big too, wasn't he?
You will show me.
Pineapple Express.
And then when he went on to when he was in like I said in
Superbad was super cool. Good.
21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street, he had done lost a lot of his weight. And yeah, that is kind of how Bryan was. It was like you see pictures
Oh
of him
yeah.
when he's a chubby kid, and then you see it when he's almost like a rail. Like there was no in between. It
Yeah, it's
was
like
like the
heavier
right
scarecrow.
during
Just
the
a bag of bones.
during the time that he was losing the weight. There's no pictures of him.
Right. You
All
know,
right,
he
y'all.
had to have worked his butt off that summer to be able to, because it sounded
Yeah.
like, I mean, that's when it all happened was
He probably
Plus,
had
he runs a lot.
yeah, he does
well
run,
now,
but
But not now.
he probably had help. Um,
with the
yeah, yeah. All right, y'all. I hate to run, but I'm gonna have to end it. I'm getting like super tired.
Okay.
I
Well,
tried to
It was a
last.
pleasure.
it's
Scarlett,
always a
Lady
pleasure,
B,
and
Thank
Chad.
y'all.
yes, I love
Thank you
you,
for
Liza.
being so
I love you,
nice.
Oh, you're
Scarlett.
welcome, honey. Thank y'all so much for coming up.
And yeah, I missed you guys. Was glad to get on here and talk to you. You're
Oh,
like one of the sweetest people.
oh, thank you. I miss everybody. I literally, y'all. Troll kept saying, "When are you gonna go back?" I was like, "I'm gonna go back tomorrow night." That was last night, and I was like, I can't stay away, but I needed the rest at the same time.
Right. Well, you definitely
So
need to take care of yourself. So I'm glad you're calling it quits now.
yeah,
If you're starting to feel tired, that's what you should do.
yeah, I
Good
think I'm gonna
night,
go to bed.
everybody in chat. I'm going to
It's
go
a
ahead and jump
driver.
down.
Good night.
I love you guys.
All right, we
And
love you
The
too,
only
Lady
thing
B.
that
time.
Scarlett, I will say to you is that your body will tell you.
Oh yes, it's
Listen.
doing that now. Like I'm
Yes.
yeah.
Once I know that you're a mother, I don't know how many kids you have, but you know, like when we were in Gravita, to say in Latin, you know that our body will tell us what's going on with the baby. Your body will tell you, you know,
Right.
time to slow down, and we will be here waiting for you. We love you.
I know. So
We do love you.
I appreciate all of you. I love all of you as well. I missed everybody. I really
Okay.
did.
Good night, honey. Good night, Chad.
Have a good night, Liza.
Bye.
And Werewolf Queen, thank you so much for the super chat. And she said hugs for Lost in the Mods. Well, thank you, honey. That was very nice. And there was another comment. Where did I see? Sweet Melissa. She said, I miss you. Take care. I miss you too, honey. I miss everybody. I really did. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here for tonight. I'm gonna try to read through the 90 something pages. Well, Sif, I think, cut it down for me. So I'm gonna try to get through at least some of it so we can go over it tomorrow night. Thank you, Keister Bunny. I'm about to. So thank you all for coming and hanging out with me tonight. I love you all. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I will see y'all tomorrow.